Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1999 Polk County Schools Video Awards Program, our 7th annual celebration. Tonight, we recognize outstanding student achievement in video production. Please stand and applaud for our salute to schools.
Everybody dance into the light. There'll be no more hiding in the shadows of fear. There'll be no more chains to hold you. The future is yours, you hold the key. And there are no walls with freedom. Now we're here, we won't go back. We are one world, we have a one voice. Side by side, we are not afraid, because the train is coming to carry you home. Come dance with me. Come on and dance into the light. Oh, everybody dance into the light. You see the sun every time you speak. All the world's in your hands, now you there. Watch past this path, don't turn around. Brush away the cobwebs of freedom. Now we're here, there's no turning back. You have each other, you have one voice. Hand in hand, you can lay the tracks, because the train is coming to carry you home. Come dance with me. Come on and dance into the light. Oh, everybody dance into the light. Oh, everybody dance into the light. Dance into the light.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your master of ceremonies, Captain Video himself, Polk County Schools Instructional Television Manager, Diamond David Lee Yates.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 7th annual Video Awards ceremony of the Polk County Schools. This is our school board's way of honoring all of the people in this room for the hard work that goes on all year long in our schools. Every year you hear me tell you the same thing, that although there are many important people and groups and clubs and teams in our schools, there is nobody more important in any school in Polk County than the people in this room tonight. About a month ago, as I do every year during spring break, I loaded up one of our vans and set about the state of Florida, having around 400 or so videotapes judged. And every year, when spring break starts, I always get a call from a couple of my friends who want to know if I've changed my mind this year. I have one friend who likes to go to the beach, and I have another friend who likes to go skiing, and I like to do both of those activities. And I have to confess that when they call every year, I have a moment of weakness. It's usually when I'm in my office very late at night, about a week or 10 days before our break is. But when I go to the living room of the Patrias, our judges in Titusville, when I go to Astronaut High School's TV production studio, or when I visit the Scotts down in Palm Beach, and they judge our videos, and I get a chance to sit there and watch them, I am so proud of what I see you folks do that I know I've made the right choice in having our videos judged. Now, I'm not the only one in the room tonight who's very proud of you. We have a special guest. I'd like to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, the superintendent of the Polk County Schools, Mr. Glenn Reynolds.
And good evening. I am delighted and honored to be here this evening, and I can tell you, you guys are in for a treat. Many occasions this past year I've visited school campuses, and one of the favorite places that the teachers and the principals want to show me is video productions. And I go down there and I see the kids in action and the anchors, and they're doing their stuff. And so this is an evening in which you will see our kids do their things and do their stuff. The competition is wonderful, it's very positive, and it's very healthy. And before we go on tonight with tonight's show, I'd like to say, and help me please, give a warm, warm applause to the folks who make it possible. And I'll name those. David Yates, very good, I'll tell you what, wonderful job. We've got crews in the back, Michael Brown and his crew from the district office. One more round of applause. The wonderful, wonderful crews. To the ladies up here, to the wonderful teachers and video production sponsors in the media centers, and all the children out here, one round of applause. You've done a wonderful job. And last but not least, because we have a bunch of parents in our audience tonight, and my sincere hats off to you for a tremendous job of parenting for these young people we have in Polk County Schools. And with that, on with the show. Good.
Okay, the first folks that I need to thank, we have a few of our preliminaries, and then we'll get right on with announcing all the winners tonight. The first folks I must thank are the folks who own Squire Tux in Winter Haven, Florida, because they provided this tuxedo tonight. Mrs. Alice Ray Overstreet, who is the Director of Instructional Technology, and her husband, George Overstreet, who is with us tonight. Their daughter owns Squire Tux, and George, please thank Cindy for me very much. If this weren't the height of the prom season, Cindy would be here to accept our praise. So thank you very much, and all of you who are going to proms and weddings or so forth in the Winter Haven area, kindly stop in at Squire Tux. The next, I want to thank our technical crew. As Superintendent Reynolds mentioned, without them, this kind of night would not be possible, and I certainly don't need to tell anybody in this room what it's like to try to bring off a classy production like we try to do every year. Mike Brown is in the back, David Cumby, Alan Powell, Sunday Schultz, Nathan Whaley, James Kessel, Paul Koslow. They're all part of our crew. Thank you guys and ladies very much for your assistance. Now and then you may see a glitch, but I think those of you who've been here before know that it really comes off quite well thanks to the very hard work of the ITV staff. Next, I'd like to introduce the three judges who are with us here tonight. We'll be going through all the judges, actually, and this year we included their pictures in the program for you. Our first judge, and we'll go to the graphics of the judges now, our first set of judges, actually, Mr. Lance Wallace and the TV students of Astronaut High School. Our next judges were Robin and Rick Smith of St. Petersburg, Kathy Patria of Titusville, who is here in the audience tonight, Mary Polk of Titusville, also here tonight, Kyra Strickland of Cocoa Beach. 4 young men from elementary schools over in Brevard County, Nathan Patria, Alexander Polk, Alex Dawson, and Ben Boatman. Lewis and Mary Scott of North Palm Beach. Richard, Marissa, and Elizabeth Shea of Davie, Florida. Bruce Dolan, and then Marion Zimmerman of Winter Springs, Florida. And we went out of state this year. We have so many videos, I really need to spread them around. So tapes were shipped to Somerset, Massachusetts. I know some folks up there. Helen and Fred Schofield. They are our winter residents to our state. And then also from Fall River, Massachusetts, Dolores Platt and Melissa Rebello. Also in our audience tonight is the judge, one of the judges for the Student of the Year competition, Mrs. Leonora Ivankovich. Our judges are going to rotate coming up and assist in the presentation of awards. The next graphic that we'll put up on the screen will tell you when you can watch this ceremony on your school's closed-circuit TV systems. And again, these times are in the program, so you don't need to write them down. The first replay is going to be tomorrow morning, the 16th, and all these are at 9 a.m. And then we'll also play the ceremony next Monday and Tuesday mornings at 9 o'clock. So for sure you want to tape the ceremony so that you can show clips of it on your school news shows. Our next graphic is going to tell you when the Video Award ceremony will play on cable television channels here in the Polk County area. If you're on Time Warner Cable in North or South Lakeland, Winter Haven, Auburndale, Mulberry, Eagle Lake, Eloise, and Lake Alfred, next Tuesday night, the 20th, at 7 o'clock. And that's on Channel 19. It's the same channel that the school board meetings and other public events are on. If you live in the Haines City area or Central Lakeland, it will also be Tuesday night at 7, but it'll be Channel 14. If you have Comcast cable, that's the south part of the county, Bartow, Fort Meade, Lake Wales, Frostproof, they have another meeting going out on Tuesday, so their replay will still be 7 o'clock, but it will be next Thursday evening at 7. And Comcast does all those kinds of events on Channel 26. The next graphic will tell you when we're going to air on our network the best of all the categories. As you know, again, if you've been here before, we'd never have enough time to show you the whole winning entry. So each year on our network, we replay all of the best in all the categories at each level, elementary, middle, and high school, in their entirety on our network. And the times you can see on the screen, and they're also listed in your program again. They can be a great source for those of you either just getting started or even if you're accomplished, because you can see the kinds of things that won particular categories, and you then use your own ideas next year to improve on them. Okay, let's talk briefly now about how the evening is going to go. It's similar to what we've done in the past. We will be showing still graphics on the screen, a still picture with a graphic for each of the nominees for the best in a given category. We will then play a clip from the best. So all the outstanding nominees will get a still graphic, name of school, and a picture from the video they submitted. And then we'll announce the best, and that we'll play a clip from the best nominee. And the length of the clip will vary depending on the category. We have trophies this year, again for outstanding and best news shows, and outstanding and best solo anchors, and this year for the first time, outstanding and best anchor teams will also receive trophies. So if you see your name in the list as a nominee, then you'll know that at the end of the ceremony, you want to come down to the stage and pick up your certificates for outstanding or your trophies for outstanding. The best in each category, of course, will get their trophies or certificates when they come down and we play their winning clip. We're going to try to do it more organized than we've been able to do it in the past when folks just sort of rushed our stage when we were done. So what we're going to ask is that you come down to the front right here. Do not come up onto the stage, please. And then I'll ask for one person from each school. So try to decide at the end of the ceremony who's going to come down from your school, because then the ladies have all the certificates and trophies organized in Sunday Schultz's usual impeccable manner. and we'll be able to give those certificates and trophies out to you in a much faster method. Now, as we've done in the past, we're going to have our nominees for Student of the Year come down and actually open the envelope and announce the best in each category. Our elementary, middle, and high school nominees will all come down, and they'll get to actually open the envelope and say, and the best documentary is. And I encourage all of you nominees, even for those of you who are relatively shy, to please shout out with as much excitement as you can muster, because this is a big moment for a school, the name of the winner, either into the microphone that I'm speaking in or the lower level microphone right here for some of our smaller kids. At the end of the ceremony, we will of course name our best high school, middle school, and elementary school TV production students of the year, and we'll ask that they come down to the stage, their parents please come down to the stage, the TV production teacher and the principal. And certainly we'd like to have any of the area superintendents who are here also come down when we announce our students of the year. The last award will be then the best in show. That is the trophy in the very middle of our display up here, and it goes to the single entry among all 417 or so that scored the highest. And that is quite an honor when you consider the caliber of work that so many schools and students in our county produce every year. To have the single highest graded or marked entry is remarkable. And I think when you see the nominees as they come up during the show, we're going to put a ribbon up on the screen when we identify them as the best. And if you see that ribbon, that tells you that it's a best in show finalist for our competition tonight. And then we won't be playing clips at the end because you will have seen them all. We'll just announce who is the winner of the prestigious best in show honor. Now, the way we need our students of the year to work tonight is to please come up at the end of the preceding category. Right now, I need the high school, middle school, and elementary school nominees who are going to present the winners for category 13. So if you folks will come on down here to the chairs on my left back here. I have Ford Heacock of Lincoln Academy, Jennifer King of Jenkins Middle, and Kim Laundere of Auburndale High School. What I'd like to not have to do each category is remind all the nominees. Now, they're up here now. Normally, though, you will see us, of course, play clips of the winners. When the high school winner is announced and we're playing their clip, the next three nominees for the next category, please come down and sit where those folks are so that as soon as we're ready to announce our winners, we won't have to wait for you to come up out of the audience. So come down when the high school winners are announced for the preceding category that you get to do. All right, we're going to give the nominees a certificate. We're also going to give them this year an Olympic medallion, and it has an Oscar on the front of it, and on the back of it, the student's name is engraved, and the name of the school, and it says 1999 TV Production Student of the Year. And Superintendent Reynolds will be presenting those medallions to all of the candidates when they come up. At this point, if I can get Mrs. Ivankovich also to join us, Mrs. Ivankovich, one of our judges, and also Mr. Jack English, who is a school board member. And I wanted to particularly thank Mr. English for making it, because he spent most of the last 24 hours on a plane coming back from San Francisco, where the National School Board Conference was. And we certainly appreciate your making the time, even though if you're like I am when you've flown on a plane all night, I don't even know how you're able to stand at this point. So thank you very much, Mr. English. Okay, at this point, we're going to move right on to category 13. That's our wild card category. We'll ask our elementary nominee. Our elementary nominee is Mr. Ford Heacock of Lincoln Avenue Academy. There's Ford. What I will do at this point is we will present him. The superintendent is going to give you your medal, Ford. If you put the medal right on. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, open the medal. And then he'll be an Indian giver just briefly and take the certificate back, because you're going to need to open the winner when we get to it. Okay. Now we'll put the stills up, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ford. All of the nominees had to submit, their teachers had to submit letters of recommendation, And for some of these young people, we'd be here all night, literally, if I read all their letters of recommendation, because we have some marvelous students doing TV production in our county. But here is what Joy Topkin, who is the media specialist and the TV production teacher at Lincoln Academy, had to say about Ford. Ford has proven to be a dependable student. He works well with the production team and always comes and offers help even when he's not scheduled to do so. I can always count on him. He has a very mild, unassuming manner that is an asset to the pressure world of TV production. He's also been a good friend this year to 2 students on our team who lost their fathers. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Lincoln Academy, the son of Ford and Kate Heacock, Mr. Ford Heacock. And now our nominees for elementary school wild card. From Arbondale Central, Louis gets out of line. From Cumbie Elementary, why do we wear school uniforms? I think Mr. English and Mr. Reynolds will be particularly interested in this one. Crystal Lake Elementary, a tribute to Mrs. Garber. Lime Street Elementary, milk tips. North Lakeland Elementary, there's a new safety patrol sheriff in town. And Paget Elementary, readathon. And as is sometimes the case, of course, we end up with ties. Ford, tell them who our first elementary school wild card winner is. Oh, thank you. Could you all hear him say Cumbie Elementary?
When I was making a scene, where were all these little beats in dirty blue jeans? We went to school just to protest the war and couldn't care less about any test scores. And now we are rapping. Hey, what's up with that? I'll close our statement to tell where we're at. The bigger, the better is now the trend. Who cares the score suffers in it all? Uniforms look neat and bright. Uniforms not too short or tight. Uniforms keep our priorities right. We love our school uniforms.
And for the sake of time, we're asking that when you come up to accept the award, that you limit your school to 2 people, normally one student and one adult, but we'll allow 2 students, not 2 adults, however. All right. Someone want to speak?
I would like to thank Miss Biggers, Miss Biggers, Miss Biggers, Miss Biggers, Miss.
How about if we thank Miss Biggers, our principal, who couldn't be here tonight, Miss Strong, our administrator, all the support that they've given us this year and flexibility. I think Dr. Wright was supposed to come up for our principal. Thank you, Dr. Wright. But this is such an apropos subject area, and we at Cumbie firmly believe that uniforms do make a difference. Thank you.
Okay, Ford, tell them who our other best elementary school wild card winner was.
Lime Street Elementary.
Milk. It does the body good. Drink at least 3 glasses of milk a day to get all the calcium you need. Chocolate milk has all the good stuff that regular milk has, and it tastes great too. Pulling the front bed.
Michael, if we can get the lights here on the stage area turned down when we're showing the clips, it would help us. Those of us who are up here are looking right up into the lights. Thanks. Sorry. Sure.
We would like to thank everybody who volunteered in this, and we would like to say it was a lot of fun and we had a big success, and we would also like to thank our audience.
That was probably one of the most fun videos that we've ever made. I guess all I have to say is milk, it does the body good. Oh, and eat more chicken.
The judges particularly liked all the clever ways. If you were looking in the background at all, you saw a cow outlined in the Eiffel Tower and a cow on Mount Rushmore and so forth. And there were some very, very clever touches there. Okay, we move on now, and still in Category 13 Wild Card, to the middle school. Our nominee for Student of the Year for the middle school, this one is from Jenkins Middle School. Her name is Jennifer King. Let me tell you what her TV production teacher, Joyce Kirby, had to say about Jennifer. She's a real asset to our morning news program. It's great to work with a student who can do everything on the first take. She takes directions very well, is reliable, and relates to others as well. She's willing to work behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera. Her natural ability and poise benefit our news show and will certainly serve her well in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the middle school nominee from Jenkins Middle, the daughter of David and Beverly King, Jennifer King. Now here are our nominees for Best Category 13 Wild Card Video at the middle school level. Jenkins Middle School. A video called Forrest Gump, I Love You, Mama. Jewett Academy with a video called Match Light. Kathleen Middle School, a video called John and John Do the News. McKeel Academy, a video called Nightmare on West Parker Street. Rochelle School of the Arts, a video called Love TV. And don't worry, it was all PG rated, so there was no problem there. Southwest Middle School, a video called The School Shopping Network. And Union Academy, a video entitled Collisions and Momentum. All right, Jennifer, please tell us who the middle school winner was for Wild Card Video.
And the winner is Southwest Middle. Hey, welcome to SSN's School Shopping Network. In this hour is a beautiful arrangement of TV production jewelry. To start out, we have earrings, and believe me, they are gorgeous. They're very lightweight, and you can see them halfway across the room. They can be for teens or women. We've got gold-plated, which I have on, or white gold. Aaron, can you get a close-up of them? The item number is SW5820. Remember, gold-plated or white gold. They are RF adapters and regularly $49.99, on sale for $19.95. That is a fabulous deal. Now, our next item is this quarter-inch headphone plug adapter. It is new today. Amanda, can you get a shot of it? We have 500 to go around. They are regularly $30 and on sale for $14.95. $15 in savings. Imagine, over half price. Where else could you find such a great deal? The item number is SW7234. That number again is SW7234. This next item is perfect for all you teens out there. It is called the Light Cover Arm Bracelet. Your daughter will be your best friend in style at the same time. You can take it from me. I know those teens. The number is SW4201. Remember the number, SW4201. It is sterling silver and will not tarnish. Wow, I believe we have a caller on the line. Barbara, are you there?
Yeah, Barbara, I'm calling from New York.
Hi.
First of all, I'd like to say I had a pleasure wearing all that beautiful jewelry, and I'd like to thank Miss Abernathy for the wonderful idea, and Miss Michael for putting up with me. Thank you.
It definitely is not a question of putting up with Jessica. This was literally done in one take. There was no extensive rehearsal, so she really is a natural. So it's really her ability, not mine.
Now we move on to the high school winner for Best Walk Video. Our student presenter is from Auburndale High School. Her name is Kim Laundere. This is what Susan Bosselman, who is the English 4 honors teacher for Kim, has to say about Kim. Whatever the capacity or task Kim is given, she approaches the assignment with creativity, energy, and pride. This vivacious young lady is definitely a doer. When faced with a production problem or focused study, Kim comes up with a plan and follows through with a determined bloodhound spirit and pride in her work, always smiling. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Bill and Gail Laundere, Miss Kim Laundere of Auburndale High School. And now the nominees for Best High School Wild Card Video. Bartow Senior High School, Kid Care. Gauze Academy, I Was Only 17. George Jenkins Senior, The X-Files. Kathleen Senior, A Land of Dishonor. Lake Gibson, The Real World. Lake Region, Trapped. And Kim, we tell them who our first high school winner was. We did have also a tie in this one, and who is that?
The winner is George Jenkins Sr.
Okay, Mulder, I've spotted Mr. Lauer. He's headed into the band room right now.
What do you mean? I see him right now. He's just walking in building 1.
No, Mulder, he just entered the band room right now.
Mr. Lauer?
Mr. Mulder, what are you doing around here? You know students aren't allowed to have electronic devices on campus. If you don't follow the rules, you're never going to become an FBI agent. Now get out of here.
Hi, I'm Barry. One of my friends told me to come see you. Can I talk to you for a minute? Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know if this is going to sound crazy or not, but, well, it was late last night. It was around 9 o'clock, I guess, and I was driving, and something in the sky caught my attention. It was like, at first I thought it was an airplane.
I just want to thank everybody who helped in the making of the X-Files, Mr. Jansen, Mr. Lauer, especially Mr. One More Take Jansen, because it paid off. Thank you. This was one of those videos where everything came together just came together in the end, and I just really would like to thank everybody who worked on it. Had a great crew, great script by John Custer and Danielle and Reed. Excellent job as Mulder and Scully, and Mike King for sound effects. Mr. Lauer, Mr. Freenis for all the time and believing in us, and thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, and that's one of those videos you definitely want to tape, even if you're not at the high school level, to catch the whole thing, because it was extremely well done. All right, Kim, who's our other high school best wild card winner?
Lake Region Senior.
You okay? Oh, man. Is there any police around here? Oh, man. Hey, what's right here? Don't worry, man.
Everybody home? Hello? Here we go.
First of all, I'd like to thank my mommy and daddy for having such a great kid. And I'd like to thank Miss Baker here for letting me make videos and stuff, pretty much whatever I want. Let me think. Thank David Hill for that spooky house. It's about all I can think of because I'm not prepared to talk and stuff up here.
I'm really proud of James, and Lake Region wishes him the best of luck as he goes on next year to pursue his film career at the university level.
You saw at the bottom where it said best for both of those last two entries, the ribbon that I told you before identifies them as candidates for best in show. Both Jenkins' X-File and this video called Trapped. And once again, when we air the best of the high school videos, you want to tape both of them and judge for yourself why it was such a difficult decision for the judges to identify just one winner. Both extremely well done. The acting and the whole atmosphere and mood of that last one, and the phenomenal special effects that were just about to come on the screen when the crew faded to black there as part of the X-Files. Now I'm going to ask one of our other judges, Kathy Patria of Titusville, to come up and join us on the stage as we move on now to Category 12. Category 12, always one of the school's favorites because it's the wacky video category. It has only two criteria: how technically well done it is, and so it has to be both in order to win this particular category. Our presenter for the elementary school wacky video, and do we have all three yet? Aha. If we can get our three presenters, please. Elementary, middle, and high school. At the elementary school level, we have Amy Birch of Boswell. And at the middle school level, we should have Darren Goodrich of Lake Alfred. And at the high school level, April Hutchison of Bartow Senior. And we'll get rolling here. Again, what I'd like for you to do, when the high school is up here accepting their award for winning the previous category, come on down and take your seat of honor, and then we'll be able to move right along. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our nominee at the elementary school level is Amy Birch of Boswell Elementary School. Let me tell you what her TV teacher, Mrs. Morey Love, said about Amy. She is a role model for fellow classmates. She's conscientious about others' feelings and is willing to work with fellow classmates. She is a mentor to every student in TV production. They all look up to her and follow her lead. Influence on all who come in contact with her. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Boswell Elementary School, the daughter of Mr. Birch, Amy Birch. Okay. Mrs. Patra, will you do us the honor then, please, of opening the envelope and telling all these folks who our best winner is. Let me tell you at this point who our nominees are for Category 12, Wacky Video at the elementary school level. Our first nominee is Crystal Lake. The video is called The Tale of Audio and Video. Garner Elementary School, Yo No. North Lakeland Elementary. The video called Where Is My Hairbrush? Polk City Elementary, Believe It or Not. And Socrum Elementary, I Love My Lips. Mrs. Patra, who's our elementary school winner?
North Lakeland Elementary.
It's time for Silly Songs with Larry, the part of the show where Larry comes out and sings a silly song. Our curtain opens as Larry, having just finished his morning bath, is searching for his hairbrush. Having no success, Larry cries out,
"Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where, 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 oh, where is my hairbrush?"
Having heard his cry, Pa Grape enters the scene. Shocked and slightly embarrassed at the sight of Larry in the towel, Pa regains his composure and reports.
I think I saw a hairbrush back there.
Back there is my hairbrush. Back there is my hairbrush. Back there, oh, where, back there, oh, where, back there, back there, back there is my hairbrush.
Having heard his joyous proclamation, Junior Asparagus enters the scene. Shocked and slightly embarrassed at the sight of Larry in the towel, Junior regains his composure and comments,
Why do you need a hairbrush? You don't have any hair.
Larry is taken aback. The thought had never occurred to him. No hair? What will this mean? What will become of him? What will become of his hairbrush? Larry wonders.
No hair for my hairbrush. No hair for my hairbrush. No hair, no hair, nowhere, no hair, no hair, no hair, nowhere, back there, no hair for my hairbrush.
Having heard his wonderings, Bob the Tomato enters the scene. Shocked and slightly embarrassed at the sight of Larry in a towel, Bob regains his composure and confesses,
Larry, that old hairbrush of yours, well, you never use it. You don't really need it, so, well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. But I gave it to the Peach, because he's got hair.
Feeling a deep sense of loss, Larry stumbles back and laments.
Not fair. Oh, my hairbrush. Not fair. My poor hairbrush. Not fair, no hair, not fair, nowhere, no hair, not fair, not fair, not fair. My little hairbrush.
Having heard his lament, the Peach enters the scene. Himself in a towel, both Larry and the Peach are shocked and slightly embarrassed at the sight of each other. But recognizing Larry's generosity, the Peach is thankful.
Thanks for the hairbrush.
Yes, good has been done here. The Peach exits the scene. Larry smiles, but still feeling an emotional attachment for the hairbrush, calls out,
Take care of my hairbrush. Take care, oh my hairbrush. Take care, don't dare not care. Take care, nice hair, no fair. Take care of my hairbrush.
The end.
I accept this award on behalf of North Lakeland Elementary and the IBN News crew. We had a lot of fun doing this video, and the hard work paid off. Thanks, Mr. Robertson and Miss Vandersteen, for doing this video.
I'd like to say thank you to Mrs. Vandersteen for the idea and for all the help we had at the library, and Mrs. Ray, our principal. Thank you for all your support, and Miss Joe, and all the teachers for letting us have the students and parents for bringing them out and let us use your children. And thanks again, Beach.
Where's my hairbrush? You know, I'm starting to ask that question, too. No, my question is, where's my hair, not where's my hairbrush? Okay, middle school, wacky video. Here are the nominees. Our presenter, hey, very good. Our presenter is Darren Goodrich of Lake Alfred Middle School. Let me tell you what Tina Steele, the lead teacher at Lake Alfred Middle, has to say about Darren. His positive attitude and initiative are combined with an extraordinary ability to lead by example. He sets high expectations and continuously strives toward his goals. He is skillful in encouraging his peers without coercing them to cooperate. The manner in which Darren leads the television crew is very subtle and yet highly effective. He's a quality leader who models patience, responsibility, integrity, and flexibility at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, the middle school nominee for Student of the Year from Lake Alfred Middle, Mr. Darren Goodrich. Darren is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Chuck Goodrich. And now, Darren, here are the nominees for Best Middle School Wacky Video. Jenkins Middle, Slobber Knocker Job Hunts. Lake Gibson Middle, a video called Johnny's Trip to the Water Fountain. Rochelle School of the Arts, Switching Heads. Southwest Middle, What a Dream. Union Academy, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And Westwood Middle, Halloween Treats. Okay, Darren, who's our middle school wacky video winner?
And the winner is Lake Gibson Middle.
This is my class. That's Brock. He sleeps a lot. That's Nick. He's the school athlete, and he's got a really cute girlfriend. That's Jamie. She's only concerned with herself. And that's me, Johnny. I love math. Jamie tells me it's nice to share. I've been sharing my answers with her ever since. One day, I told Nick I had to tell him something. I told him I thought his girlfriend was cute, and maybe I could go out with her someday. I don't think he took it too well. Not too well at all. And Brock doesn't bother anybody that much. Except for the teacher. One day in math class, I became extremely thirsty, so I asked my teacher if I could go get some water. She said yes, so I started walking. I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. What's this say? Out of order? No! I've got to have some water. I went upstairs for a drink. I guess I wasn't watching where I was going because I ran into Cece and fell into an open elevator. Boy, that hurt. Well, back to the first floor. I decided to make my way back up to the second floor. I walked and walked and walked. By the time I made it, I was so thirsty I couldn't walk. I crawled and crawled. Oh, great. Here comes Dustin, the school bully. This is going to be fun. He decided to use me as a floor mat. Ouch! After I brushed myself off, I saw it. I took a step towards my destiny. Oh, luscious water. So close. Here I am. Boy, that water made me feel good. Oh, great, I gotta get back to class.
I would like to accept this award on behalf of Laramie Hubbard, who is the main actor in this video, and unfortunately he could not be here today, so thank you.
And I would like to say thank you to my wonderful Lake Gibson Middle School staff, our parents, our administration. Thank you very much.
Now we move on to the best high school winner for Wacky Video. Our next Student of the Year nominee is Miss April Hutchison of Bartow High School. Here is what the varsity cheerleading coach at Bartow High has to say about April. Whether April is on the playing field, in the classroom, or around the Bartow community, she displays her enthusiasm, energy, and genuine spirit. Leadership is the ability to inspire others to participate and contribute in a positive, enthusiastic manner. Her sincerity and sensitivity are transferred through April's actions, which in turn inspire others. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Jody Rogers, April Hutchison of Bartow High School. And now our nominees for Best High School Wacky Video. From Bartow Senior, Rejection. From Frostproof Senior, brain surgery. From Lake Gibson Senior, Captain Video. From Lakeland Senior, a night on the town. And now April, who's our high school winner for Best Wacky Video?
Lake Gibson Senior.
I heard you calling for help. What's wrong?
Some guy just took my book bag, and he's like right over there.
Try this one on for size, criminal. Yes, it's finally working.
Thanks again, Captain Video.
Just during my...
I think I lost him.
Forget about something?
All right, let's go.
You want a piece of this?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Huh? Huh? Yeah? Come on, do it! Let's go!
Ow. Ow. That's all you got, huh? Take this. Titanic, huh?
No, anything by Titanic. Haha, you missed.
Haha. Part 2.
Oh no, not part 2.
I would just like to thank Miss McNabb, Jason, and all the OAF staff, Nikki, Dusty, Nate, Jared, for all the graphics. Thanks a lot.
I'd just like to thank Miss McNabb, Miss Day, Miss Bain, and everyone else who made it a little bit easier to wear tights.
Jason, you have more courage than any other high school student I've ever met. As you saw from the ribbon, that and also the Where Is My Hairbrush video are also candidates for Best in Show. Okay, if I can get our three presenters down here now, please, for category 11, which is reporting and interviewing. Our nominee for at the elementary school level is Rachel Hoyt. Here is what Miss Julie Kittleson, Rachel's fourth grade teacher, has to say about her. Her dynamic personality, easygoing manner, integrity, and acceptance of others has enabled her to become one of Cleveland Court Elementary's most outstanding students. During our time together, Rachel consistently turns in quality work, interacts well with adults, and takes leadership roles in all her classes. She took initiative in her work, always asking questions. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Cleveland Court Elementary School, the daughter of Warren and Lynn Hoyt, Miss Rachel Hoyt. And now our nominees for one of the most important awards, because if you're going on to a career in television reporting, obviously you want to start out good. Our nominees for Best Reporting are Cleveland Court Elementary, Crystal Lake Elementary, Lewis, Lime Street, North Lakeland, and Sokrum Elementary. And Rachel, if you'll kindly tell them who our very first winner is.
Lewis Elementary.
The main hall of Lewis Elementary. Why am I dressed like this? Because it's cold in here. See all these snowflakes? First, second, and third graders made snowflake prints and assembled them into quilts. Aren't they pretty? Hey, it's really snowing. Maybe there will be enough snow for me to take a sled ride.
I didn't have any idea of which clip they would use. We have several reporters, so Miranda's a little bit shy tonight, but we are proud of all of our reporters and all of the people that helped Lewis Elementary do such a good job on the news program. Thank you.
We have one more elementary school winner. Rachel?
North Lakeland Elementary.
Boys and girls, this is Cora here with a special report on the Great American Teach-In. But don't take my word for it. Here's Mrs. Sloan's class.
You can be a doctor. You can be a judge. You can even be a CPA. But on the everything, let it be clear, you can be a teacher of the year.
So, Mrs. Scarborough, were you shocked to be chosen as the Teacher of the Year?
I was very shocked. I'm very surprised. There's so many teachers here that are just as good. It's wonderful to have this honor.
Well, how do you feel being the Teacher of the Year now?
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even know what to think.
How are you going to celebrate?
I'm going to call my parents and my husband and, I don't know, maybe go to dinner tonight. Hey.
That's Miss Joe.
I just had to call you and tell you I got Teacher of the Year. Guess what? No, it's okay.
No,
I'm okay. I got Teacher of the Year.
How are you going to take all the attention that you're getting from this?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Thank you. Here's one more congratulations to Miss Scarborough. Let's give it up for Miss Scarborough. I really enjoy interviewing and reporting for my school and everything. And I'd like to thank all the people here that has helped and put all this stuff together, and Mr. Robertson and everything. And thank you.
I loved like interviewing Santa and all them. They didn't show it, but it was a really fun experience, and I'd like to thank Mr. Robertson and everybody.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
What a wonderful way they chose to announce to the teacher that she was the teacher of the year. As you could probably tell, she did know when she went out there, and they had planned, and they had the cameras there, and also when she talked to her husband and her family as well. What a terrific way to let your teacher of the year know that she's won that honor. Okay, we're now moving on to category 10, which is, we're now moving on to the middle school for reporting and interviewing. We're still in category 11. Our nominee at the middle school level is Mr. Brock On of Lake Gibson Middle School. This is what a teacher at Lake Gibson, Miss Charlene Pierce, has to say about Brock. I think what impresses me the most about him is that he can converse with anyone. He's just as comfortable talking to adults as he is with his peers. He also has a gift for adjusting to his social setting, which is unusual for a middle school student. He has a diverse circle of friends ranging from the successful to the underachiever. I've had the opportunity to observe him in group activities. No matter who his partner is, Brock is capable of cooperating and always getting the project completed. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Charlie and Cynthia On, Mr. Brock On of Lake Gibson Middle School. And now the nominees for Best Reporting and Interviewing at the middle school level. Lake Gibson Middle. McKeel Academy. And Southwest Middle. And Brock, tell them who our middle school interviewing and reporting champion is.
Prince is killing me. The winner is Southwest Middle.
Your reporter, and I'm here at the southwest end of Southwest Middle School. Right across from me is the Southwest substation for the Lakeland Electric Company. Let's go take a look. This may not look like a dangerous area to be around. We have gotten some complaints that students have tried to climb this gate or gain access to see if that statement is true. But believe me, Lakeland officials have assured us that this is not a safe area and is very dangerous. Please don't climb this gate or get anywhere near it. We wouldn't want to lose anyone from Southwest due to high voltage. I would like to thank our principal, Mr. A. I would like to thank my family and friends, Miss Michael, our director, for pushing me the extra step, and the SWTV crew. Thank you.
Again, we've been blessed with some natural talent. Allison is a very quick study, and it doesn't take her very long to get her lines, and so we've been really fortunate. Thank you to all of our faculty and staff, and to Mrs. Abernathy, who helps me out.
I probably should explain to you that the students of the year who come up to announce the winners were chosen in strict alphabetical order, and it is possible tonight for a student of the year to open the envelope and read his or her own school as being the winner. We didn't rotate or move anybody around because we were afraid they would actually open the envelope and announce that they had won the award. It's strictly alphabetical. One year we start with the V and the Z and the W schools at the end of the alphabet, and then the following year we start with the A schools. Okay, now we'll move on to the high school Best News Reporting and Interviewing. Our nominee for this category at the high school level is Mr. Nathan Swigert of Frostproof High School. This is what Debbie Weber, who is Nathan's AP English teacher, has to say about him. I have known Nathan personally for many years, and I have him this year in my advanced placement literature class. He is kind and polite and always a gentleman. He's a caring young man. He puts the needs of others ahead of his own. His devotion to the TV program at our school is clearly shown as he puts in many extra hours to produce our shows every day. Ladies and gentlemen, the high school nominee from Frostproof High School, the son of Paul and May Swigert, Mr. Nathan Swigert. And now our nominees for Best Reporting and Interviewing at the high school level. Auburndale Senior. Bartow Senior. Kathleen Senior. Lake Region Senior. And Lake Wales Senior. We do have a tie in this category. Nathan, who's our first high school winner?
Bartow Senior.
And grace will lead.
I turned my eyes and saw another stone. I was shocked when I read it. In big, bold print, it read, "Here lies the names of those who died protecting our country in the Vietnam War."
Well, it's very important for the students to come to the Vietnam War Memorial, simply because as a student, never being involved in a major war except for Desert Storm, and for little ones that have never seen the War Memorial, they can come to appreciate the fact that their fellow relatives and people that they never even know have died for freedom that they should really appreciate.
The wall means what the people, the sacrifice that our young men gave to our country, and it helps, this wall actually helps the families have a closure.
I think America needs to remember to honor those who came back and to hold them in high esteem. I said it once before, their blood was shed for America and our freedom, just like in any other war. And I want that honor to be given to them. God bless you.
I would just like to thank the entire news staff. They all pulled together to work on these stories. We broke up into groups, and everybody pulled together to do their best, and I'd just like to thank the entire crew for that.
This year, YJP News produced over 60 90-minute news packages for our news show. They ranged from local stories. We had some in Orlando, Tampa. It takes a lot of time to develop these stories. It takes a flexible administration to let some of our kids sometimes do some reporting and interviewing on school time, and we'd like to appreciate them, thank them, Dr. Vetter and Mr. Ashley. I feel like I have some really talented kids who go after some stories that may require a little extra work, but they're usually eager to do that. Thank you.
The reason that we had a tie at the high school level for news reporting is that there are two conflicting opinions in the television industry about the way reporting should go. One theory maintains that you really don't ever have to see the reporter. Most of the segments that Bartow Sr. submitted, like that one, you never met the reporter. And there are a lot of TV stations in America, that's how they do their reporting. The other theory in television production is that you should always show your reporter. That's why we had the tie, because this next school that Nathan will announce always showed their reporter. Nathan, who's our other high school winner?
Kathleen Senior.
And I'm here with Mr. Mark Bowers, who is a lieutenant for the Lakeland Fire Department. And in case you all didn't know, he's Miss Jenny Bowers' father. So what do you like best about your job?
I guess what I like the best about is I never really know what I'm going to be doing when I go to work. I may fight fire, I might help deliver a baby, go to car accidents. I just like being able to help people, you know, going to somebody that has a need and then having the training and the tools to give them what they need to help them out.
Right, and you do enjoy your job, right?
Oh, I love it. I love what I do. I really do.
That's great. Okay, let's focus a second to Miss Jenny Bowers over here. Now, Mr. Bowers, could you explain what your daughter's doing here, like her outfit?
This is our regular firefighting gear that we'd use if we were going into a burning structure. If everything is on correctly, there is no skin exposed anywhere. So if she were caught in a flashover or caught in flames, she wouldn't get burned. She's protected fully from top of her head to the bottoms of her feet, steel-toed boots, protective pants and jackets that keep out heat and flame. Her head, you know, if she's working outside and something falls off the roof, no problem. It's not going to hurt her. She's protected all the way around.
Wow, okay, this looks uncomfortable. Is it heavy or is it hard to wear?
It's about 35 to 40 pounds of extra weight that she's carrying right now. And it's not too hard just standing here, but if you're climbing a ladder with a fire hose or crawling into a building on your hands and knees, which is how we fight fire, it's quite a bit extra to wear.
About how long does it take to put it on?
We're required to have it all on and breathing off of the air in 53 to 54 seconds. So
I'd like to thank a wonderful TV production team at Kathleen Senior High School, a wonderful sponsor, Ms. Privet. They gave me lots of ideas for the other projects that we've done. And I'd just like to say that I couldn't have done it without them. And we have a great team, and we have an excellent school. Thank you.
We also have an excellent interviewer in April. She does a wonderful job. She is so able to think on her feet. And this is something that, you know, not everyone can do. You can plan your questions and, you know, go in what you kind of want to ask. But she comes up with the questions that somehow everyone wants to know the answer for. And that's unique. That's really special. So we're very proud of her. We'd like to thank all the teachers at our school, our administration for being supportive, and our media center, because we all have to work kind of closely together in cramped quarters. Thank you very much.
Linda, while you're up here, go ahead and show Superintendent Reynolds the blueprints for the new TV studio. This is a good time to... Yeah, she literally operates in a space that's like a closet off the media center at Kathleen High School. Okay, now we'll move to Category 10, which is News Set, and I will ask Mrs. Ivankovich to return to the stage for this category. And leaving our stage, Miss Mary Polk, who is one of the judges from Titusville. Category 10 is Best News Set, and we have quite a variety in this category. Some schools use the chroma key effect a lot, where you put a picture or moving video behind the anchors. Others go to a great extent to put backgrounds behind them and use props and other effects. So if we can get our three young people, there they are, very good. Let's meet our elementary school nominee for Student of the Year, who's going to do this category. That's Mike Taylor from Cumbie Elementary School. And now let me tell you what Coach Gedron said about Mike. Mike is a member of our safety patrol here at Cumbie Elementary and is a very reliable and responsible individual who displays tremendous leadership capabilities while performing his duties. He is, in my opinion, also the most well-rounded boy in the 5th grade class at Cumbie Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Mohan and Ramila Taylor from Cumbie Elementary School, Mike Taylor. And now our nominees for Best News Sets at the elementary school level. Bartow Elementary Academy. Blake Elementary School. Crystal Lake Elementary. Lewis Elementary. Lime Street Elementary. North Lakeland. Socrum, and Southwest Elementary. Virtually every school enters this particular category, so it's not surprising that we have 2 winners. Who is our first winner, Mike?
Crystal Lake Elementary.
I want to thank Dr. Satchel, our principal, and Mr. Basil, our assistant principal, for their support. Also, I would like to thank Mrs. Pugh, my Alpha teacher, and our WCLE costume designer, Mrs. Brooks, for her creative help.
I'd especially like to thank Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Kite for being exciting people to be around.
They say Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Kite are exciting. They're wild and crazy women is what they are, trust me. Yes. You drop in on the Crystal Lake Elementary TV studio and you never know what you're going to see going on in there. Okay, Mike, who's our other elementary school news set winner?
North Lakeland Elementary.
We'd like to say thank you very much for this award. A lot of thought and creativity goes into this. And I'd also like to say congratulations to IBN for all the hard work that these children have put into it and trying on all the costumes and uniforms and all the different things that they wore. Thank you very much.
Next, we move on to the middle school competition for Category 10 news sets. Our nominee is Chris Nakla of Lakeland Middle, soon to be Lawton Childs Middle Academy. This is what Annette Campbell, who is the technology coordinator at Lakeland Middle Academy, has to say. The teachers of LMA can rely on Chris to get the job done when they need projects filmed. They also appreciate his punctuality and his sense of humor. Chris is a fine example for other students seeking an interest in TV production. His peers respect him highly and have voted him to be the ITV Student of the Year. I expect that we'll see many exciting creations from Chris in the future. We feel fortunate to have such a creative and a talented young man. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Nagla and Saeed Nakla from Lakeland Middle Academy, Mr. Chris Nakla. And now our nominees for Best Middle School News Set. Lake Gibson Middle. Excuse me. Jenkins Middle. Jewett Academy. Lake Alfred Middle. Southwest Middle. Stambaugh Middle. and Union Academy. We have two winners. Chris, who's our first one?
The first winner is Jewett Academy.
I'd just like to thank all the students that were involved and all the anchors that went through a lot going in those costumes that you saw. And Chris for helping me edit this.
I would like to thank Matt for helping me edit, my teacher, Mrs. Platt, and all the anchors that are involved.
All right, Chris, who's our other middle school Best News Set winner?
The winner is Lake Alfred Middle.
First of all, I would like to thank my parents and Miss Black and Miss Folks for all their support and their great ideas.
I would just like to thank my family's friends and the school board and all our teachers. They backed us up all the way. Thank you.
Let me apologize for our crew at this point. We did have sound with these clips, so obviously when they submitted them, they all had sound, many times sound effects also as part of the sets, and sometimes music. All right, we're moving on now to the high school winners for Best News Set. Our nominee is Mr. James Johns of Gauze Academy. This is what Melissa Conkle, who is the Media Productions Coordinator at Gauze Academy, has to say about James. James Johns should be the Senior High TV Production Student of the Year because his outstanding attitude and work ethic are exemplary to others. He's always willing to take on more responsibility and constantly strives to learn more. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Gauze Academy, the son of James and Bonnie Johns, Mr. James Johns. And now our nominees for Best High School News Sets. Auburndale Senior. Bartow Senior. Frostproof Senior. Lake Region Senior. And Lake Wales Senior. Okay, James, who's our first high school winner?
Auburndale Senior.
we'd just like to thank our teacher, Miss Sir. She's a great teacher. She's just the best.
We have a great crew. We have a lot of fun. Miss Sir gives us our freedom and independence and lets our imaginations work. And I'd like to thank the whole rest of our crew for helping us brainstorm our sets. Thank you.
Okay, James, who's our other high school new set winner?
Frost-proof singer.
I'd like to thank my parents and Mr. Dinsmore for their support and the ITV crew.
Short and sweet. I'd certainly like to thank our principal, Mr. David Lewis, who gives us a lot of support and encouragement. All the guys here, Mike and David, just is very, very good to us. And certainly my kids and my crew have a really good group of guys. Thanks a lot.
They did some, Frostproof Senior did some marvelously creative computer-generated sets you could see there. One of the times the anchors was sitting like, or standing on a table that had a plate and a cup and so forth. It was really quite the model there. Okay, now we move on to category 9, which is documentary. Always one of the most interesting categories that we have, and also one in which we get some of our very, very best work. Our TV production classes often go out into the communities doing service to nonprofit organizations, to all kinds of folks who might not get their story told were it not for iSchool TV production crew. Our nominee for this category at the elementary school level is Miss Catherine Little of Crystal Lake Elementary School. This is what a Crystal Lake teacher, Mrs. Clayton, has to say about Catherine. She handles responsibility at a level far exceeding her age. Catherine sets a fine example for the rest of the news crew with her work-first attitude and her willingness to accept any assignment. She never complains, regardless of how many times something has to be redone. And all of us in TV production know that's a lot, right? Her work ethic and positive attitude have made her the star of our news team. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Ricardo Garcia, Catherine Little of Crystal Lake Elementary School. And now our elementary school nominees for Best Documentary. Cumbie Elementary, What Kids Need to Know About the HIV/AIDS Virus. Crystal Lake Elementary, Pennies for People. Hillcrest Elementary, North and Central America. Lime Street Elementary, Dalton's Heart, The Power of Dreams. North Lakeland Elementary, I Want NLE. And now the Best Elementary School Documentary.
Crystal Lake Elementary.
All just see in God's hand. We start the same, but recognized he'd done a lot of living since I last looked in his eyes. He told his tale of how he'd failed, the lessons he'd been taught, but he offered no excuses, and he left me with this thought: we're all just seeds in God's hands.
I would like to thank Dee Dee Wright, Michelle Murphy, and Sue Weinwright for agreeing to take part in this documentary. We couldn't have done it without them. I would also like to thank our principal, Dr. Satchel, assistant principal, Mr. Basil, Mrs. Kite, and Mrs. Smith for their tremendous help and support. We all put a lot of hard work and effort into this, and I guess it paid off. Thank you.
The title of that was Pennies for People, and it was indeed a marvelous documentary on the plight of the homeless. That also is one of our nominees for Best in Show. Now we move on to the middle school for a documentary. Our presenter is Rachel Blackwelder of Rochelle School of the Arts. This is what Connie Lanier, who is the TV production teacher at Rochelle, has to say about Rachel. She's a lifelong learner, a seeker of knowledge. She's multi-talented in the areas of music, drama, and academics. She cooperates with others, expresses opinions in a thoughtful manner, always showing emotional sensitivity and responsibility. She is a silent leader and a wonderful student. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Rochelle School of the Arts, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Mark Blackwelder, Rachel Blackwelder. And now our middle school nominees for Best Documentary. Jenkins Middle School. J. Dan Jenkins Middle School, 50 Years was the name of that one. Jewett Academy, European Extravaganza. Lake Gibson Middle. A documentary called A Different Point of View. Lakeland Middle Academy, Manatees. And Union Academy, Concentration Camps. Rachel, who's our first middle school documentary winner?
Jewett Middle.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's Jenkins Middle. I am so sorry. That's all right.
Oh, hi. I'm Jennifer King, a student here at Jenkins Middle School in Haines City. Our school is 50 years old and will be closing for renovation to become a high school for technology this coming fall. Let's take one last look at our school. Boy, these yearbooks really tell the story.
we are very sad that our school is going to be closing, but first of all, I'd like to thank the news team for getting all the information on the school ready, our principal, Mr. Reiser, our news team director, Miss Kirby. She does a really great job at pushing us along and making sure we do our best. I'd like to thank Mr. Julian Shaw, Mr. Dunbar, and Mr. Johnson, who allowed us to do interviews on them to give us more information about the school. We really appreciate this, and I know all the news team really did a great job on putting it together. Thank you.
I'd like to particularly thank our staff. They are always so cooperative in doing whatever we ask them, and sometimes we ask them some pretty strange things.
We have a lot of finely dressed young people here tonight, but I think Jenkins Middle is basically our leader here. And also, they set a new video award ceremony record. They marched in here with their sign at 4:30 this afternoon. They wanted to make sure they got the prime seats right there in the front. And with the kind of work they do, I can understand why. Okay, Rachel, who's our other middle school documentary winner?
I'll try to get this one right. Lake Gibson Middle.
This is Robin Silva, an 8th grader at Lake Gibson Middle School. At 18 months of age, she was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy type 2. Her disease is chronic and also genetic. Some symptoms include tremors in the fingers and not being able to walk, stand, or even sit up without support. But Robin seems to take this all in stride, and she doesn't let her disease affect her emotionally. She is also very open about her illness. Hi, I'm Natalie Rodriguez, and I'm here to tell you just how Robin faces her daily challenges. Put yourself in Robin's situation for a moment. This is what she faces going from class to class on a daily basis. There are rude people who won't move out of the way, staring eyes, and plus she has to face the fact that she is different. Thank you. I'd like to thank Wes Grimes for all of his support and help, Miss Sutterberg for everything. Thank you so much. My mom, Dad, I love you. Thank you very, very much. And I also have to thank Robin Silva because letting us see her point of view, a different point of view. She has spinal muscular atrophy, and I can't thank her enough. Thank you.
And this was Natalie's project from start to finish. She did a wonderful job on putting it together. Her and Wes Grimes sat down and put everything together. We want to thank Robin, and we want to thank her mother for taking some time to speak with us, and also all of her friends. Thanks.
Okay, now we move on to the Best High School Documentary. Our nominee for this category for Student of the Year is Chris Oxford of George Jenkins High School. This is what Rick Jansen, who is Chris's TV production teacher, has to say about him. Chris is one of those rare individuals who has a style of his own that shows on the TV screen. You know when you're watching a Chris Oxford production. He is a leader among his peers. I've watched him direct an entire group of students and create excellent finished products, even with all those different perspectives. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Mike and Rosie Oxford, the nominee from George Jenkins High, Mr. Chris Oxford. And now the nominees for Best High School Documentary. Auburndale Senior. The documentary is called Red Ribbon Week. Bartow Senior. Documentary entitled The Tenorock Public Shooting Facility. Fort Meade Senior. The Civil War. Gauze Academy. This is Gauze Academy. George Jenkins Sr. The documentary called X-Files Behind the Scenes. Kathleen Sr. Homecoming, 1998. Lake Region Sr. Lake Guards. And Lakeland Sr. The documentary entitled LHS Football. Chris, who's our best high school documentary?
And the winner is Lake Region Senior.
Today we're going to take you on a tour of Polk County's lakes. And we'll show you why lakes are important. And what pollution is doing to them.
And what you can do to help.
Did you know that there are over 300 lakes in Polk County?
In fact, there are over 60 lakes in Winter Haven alone.
Community boat ramps like these have enabled boating to become a popular recreation in our community.
Increased recreation on the chain of lakes has caused the average clarity to be 3 feet less than that of lakes not on the chain.
But our lakes are for more than just recreation. They also provide homes for much of our wildlife. Look, here comes the duck now.
It costs twice as much money to drain and restore a lake as it does to prevent pollution in the first place.
In fact, it can cost over $10,000 per acre to drain a lake.
Every day, the average person uses 150 gallons of water.
And over half that water is used outside the home.
There are over 85 water treatment facilities in Polk County.
This is kind of a surprise because we didn't have a documentary like the day of the awards were due, and so I just had this for our CPS, and they're like, well, why don't we turn it in? And I'm really surprised it won. Thank you to all the people in CPS who helped make the video, Katie and Spencer and Josh and Elliot and everyone. And thank you to Mr. Spence, who's in the video later, who let us get all that information. And to all my teachers for letting me out of class to edit this at the last minute.
I'm really proud of Jillian. She puts our news show together every day, so for her to have time to do this on the side is really impressive, and thank you for reminding me that you did this so we had something to submit for this category.
And not only might it have been a surprise winner in documentary, it's also one of our finalists for Best in Show. Next, we'll move on to Category 8, and I will ask our elementary school nominee, who is Samantha McClendon of Kathleen Elementary School. Let me tell you what the principal of Kathleen Elementary, Miss Karen Kemp, has to say. As she actively takes part in our school program, she is very well organized, dependable, and willing to do whatever it takes for the show to be successful. Recently, our teacher responsible for TV production was out for several weeks, and Samantha took over. She took on that responsibility and followed through without any delays or missed TV programs. What a great feeling to know that our school could rely on young Samantha McClendon in such an important position. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Kathleen Elementary School, the daughter of Henry and Debbie McClendon, Samantha McClendon. We're moving on now to a very interesting category, one that gets a little better every single year. It's computer graphics and animation, and we'll be showing you when we get to the winners, we'll be showing you clips of all the things they submitted, or most of the things they submitted, I should say. The elementary nominees for Best Computer Graphics: Bartow Elementary Academy, Cleveland Court Elementary, Lewis Elementary. North Lakeland Elementary. Polk City Elementary. And our other nominee was Lime Street in this category. And now thank you. Would you kindly tell them who our best elementary school computer graphics is?
Lewis Elementary.
Thank you for Mr. Cave and my teacher, Miss Bain. That's all.
Katie does the behind-the-scenes stuff for our school, as you can see. But we really appreciate all the hard. She is the hardest working student. I believe that she is the hardest working student at our school on our news team. She's always there early working on the graphics and late working on the graphics. She's there before school, after school, and she just does some amazing things. I've never seen anyone work harder.
Mr. Cave did not tell you how old the experienced computer operator who created all those graphics is. Tom, how old is Katie? She's 9 years old. Amazing. Okay, now we move on to the middle school computer graphics. Our nominee is Amanda Tetlak of Southwest Middle School. This is what Rebecca Michael, the TV production teacher at Southwest, has to say about Amanda. Her dedication and maturity make her a glowing example. She stays late, she comes in early, she allows herself to be put on display, and endures teasing about things she does on the show with joy. Amanda Tetlak is the embodiment of everything I would wish for in a student. She's an asset not only to TV productions, but to her school, her church, and her community. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Stephen and Gail Tetlak, the nominee from Southwest Middle School, Amanda Tetlak. And now our nominees for Best Middle School Graphics. Jewett Academy. Lake Gibson Middle. McKeel Academy. Rochelle School of the Arts. And Amanda, who had our best middle school computer graphics this year?
The winner is Jewett Academy. I would just like to thank Miss Platt and Shane, Matt, and Stephen for helping me learn how to use the graphic and accepting this award. Thank you.
Television production teachers are really different, aren't we? You have to take creativity, which is given to the students. You have to teach them skills, and then you watch them blossom, and that's what I do. Thank you.
And now one of the toughest and most competitive of all the categories, the high school computer graphics. Our nominee is Miss Bethany Brooks of Kathleen Senior High. This is what one of Bethany's teachers, Miss Kathy Schmidt, has to say. Perhaps more important than Kathy's earning high grades and being involved in the community is her integrity. Her teachers and her fellow students can count on Bethany to do whatever she says she will do. Foremost, she will do it well. She set and maintains high moral and ethical standards for herself as well as for her peers, and yet she's never critical or insensitive to others. Instead, Bethany strives to set examples she wants others to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Kathleen High School, Miss Bethany Brooks, the daughter of John and Jenny Brooks. And now our nominees for Best High School Computer Graphics. Okay, we'll hold on for a second here. I dare say probably most of you in this room have had a challenge like this when you're trying to do your new show. Yeah, I can't thank our technical crew, Mike and everyone else, enough, because it takes a tremendous effort to do the computer graphics and the video clips and all the sound effects. And I see we have our messenger from the Far East over here. Oh. All right. We're doing our graphics course with a computer, and Mike has restarted the computer. Surprisingly, it locked up. Have you ever had that happen to the computer you're doing your with? Right. Let's see, Mr. Reynolds, do you have maybe like a magic act or something you can? Yeah. You can do for this. Yeah. And what? There we go. Hey. Okay, our first high school nominee is Bartow Senior High. Our next nominee, Frostproof Senior. George Jenkins Senior. Lake Gibson. Lake Region. McKeel Academy. And Winter Haven Senior. As you can see, this is a highly competitive category, and we had two. We really could have had about 8 or 10 bests in this one. Seriously, the graphics were that good. Who is our first high school best computer graphics winner?
Bartow Senior.
Now let's check out what the Jacket's Nest is serving for lunch today.
Polk. Point.
Watch the yellow jacket at the very end of this.
Make ready to land our troops beyond their energy field, then deploy the fleet so that nothing gets off the system. You are in command now, Admiral Piet.
Yes, my lord. I'll get on it right after YJP News.
I'd like to thank everybody that helps with the graphics, Will, Travis, and the whole YJP News staff for always having loads of ideas for the graphics. Thanks a lot.
When we play our best of high school, when we get to this category, we're going to play not only the two schools that were best, but the schools that were nominated for best, because you ought to see the graphics they did. Okay, Bethany, who's our other best high school computer graphics?
Lee Gibson Senior.
Thank you. I would just like to thank Ms. McNabb and Mr. G and my mom and dad for all the support. Just a little brief explanation. Those symbols are all like segments of our show, like there's OAF info, the weather, we have a question of the week or a quiz, and sports, and the oddball, which is our skits and music videos. So if you just wanted to know.
And all the other like OAF cast and everything that gave us ideas for all the graphics.
We certainly want to congratulate both Bartow and Lake Gibson for winning that category, but I especially want to congratulate Frostproof, George Jenkins, Lake Region High School, McKeel Academy, and Winter Haven. They all had excellent entries in this particular category, as you'll see if you tape our best of competition coming up. Now we move on to category 7, always one of the more interesting ones. It's the non-computer animation, where students create activities using a camera that they pause frequently so that things will happen. Our nominee for elementary school, who's going to present category 7 to us, is Miss Katie Albritton. Katie is from Lewis Elementary School. This is what Susan Cannon, Katie's second grade teacher, remember Lewis only goes to third grade, so this is what her second grade teacher has to say about Katie. Katie was one of those students who could depend on to help run errands, tutor a fellow classmate, help with cleanup at the end of the day, and with all daily classroom chores. She's a very quiet and humble young lady who never seeks recognition for the things she does. Her behind-the-scenes work has allowed her to showcase her exceptional computer abilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Lewis Elementary, the daughter of James and Nancy Albritton, Miss Katie Albritton. And now our best elementary school nominees for non-computer animation. Blake Elementary, Music Enchantment. Cumbie Elementary, Help, The Adventures of Scan Card Sam. And Crystal Lake Elementary, Fly Like an Eagle. Katie, who is our elementary school non-computer animation winner?
The winner is Cumbie Elementary.
Not just anybody. You know I need someone. When I was a young body. Not just anybody. You know I need someone.
Hi, Sam. You the new guy? Yeah, I'm so excited about my new job. Well, Fresh Face, don't get too worked up. It gets rough around here. What do you mean? You'll find out. Just hope you don't get the kid. The kid? Oh, no. He's here, and he's got your number.
Not just anybody. You know I need someone.
I'd like to thank Miss Locke, Miss Stokes, and Miss Horn for helping us be here tonight.
I just wanted to share with you that last year there was a middle school entry in this category called 409. And that stimulated us to feel that our scan cards could be a possibility for this category. Knowing that all the wonderful and intriguing things that children do to their scan cards at elementary school, we felt like we needed to dedicate this to them. Thanks so much.
As you saw, there was a ribbon when their best graphic came up, so that means that The Adventures of Scan Card Sam is a nominee for Best in Show. Next, we move on to the middle school level for Best Non-Computer Animation. Our nominee is Mr. Jared Warner of Union Academy. Here is what Mr. Mick McCarty, who is Jared's TV production teacher, has to say about him. He is mature, articulate, intelligent, and unfailingly kind to all others. He is the student teachers rely on. Jared Warner has a highly exemplary conduct profile for all of his years at Union Academy. He's also active in his community, including the Boy Scouts and many play productions. He is a role model for any middle school students. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Russell Warner and Jan Hampton, the nominee from Union Academy, Mr. Jared Warner. And here are our nominees for Best Middle School Non-Computer Animation. Jenkins Middle. Their video was called No, No, We Won't Go. Jewett Academy. Their non-computer animation was called Earthquake. And Union Academy, their non-computer animation was called Cows. Okay, Jared, who's our middle school non-computer animation winner?
And the winner is Union Academy for Cows.
All you Gateway computer lovers are going to like this one.
The Lone Ranger.
I just want to sit.
Thank you to Union Academy and for Christy and her mom for letting us use her pasture.
I just want to say thanks to everybody that made this possible. Thanks.
If you've ever competed in this category, you know that what you saw took hours and hours and hours, a lot of stopping the camera to relocate things, including all those boxes. Okay, now we move on to the best high school non-computer animation. And our presenter is Mr. James Brown from Lake Region Senior. This is what his TV production teacher, Pam Baker, has to say about James. James Brown possesses the rare ability to switch gears from wild and crazy on camera to serious director and classroom students. He constantly seeks to improve himself and his production and writing skills. I am proud to have been a part of this young man's early career, and I know he has what it takes to make it big time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Brown from Lake Region High School. And now our nominees for Best High School Non-Computer Animation. Bartow Senior, BHS Planner. George Jenkins Senior, Faculty Slugfest. Lake Gibson Senior, When Cows Fly. Lake Region Senior, The Valentine's Dance. And Lakeland Senior, Sumo Wrestling. And James, who had our best high school non-computer animation?
And the winner is George Jenkins Sr.
Welcome to Faculty Slugfest, the place where teachers go when they can't solve their problems in a PTA meeting. Tonight our fighters are Mr. Lauer and Coach Work. Apparently, when doing the budgeting for next year, some funding was missing from the volleyball account. That made Coach Work very upset. And now entering Coach Work. You're going down, Lauer. Oh, tough words from a mighty tough lady. And this fight is just about to begin. Enter our special referee, Lee Brackman.
I want a good fight, guys. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on indeed. And now, the fight is about to begin. Coach Work, can we work this out, please? We've been friends for so long.
No, Lauer, you're going down.
Oh, and a body slam by Work. And now she's dishing it out to Lauer, and he's down. Oh, Lauer better do something quick. Oh, and a surprise move by Lauer, a turn kick. Hitting Coach Work in the gut. And now Work is down. Mr. Lauer, rising up. It looks like he's headed towards the turnbuckle. I wonder what he has in store. It's all good, students. And he's airborne! I think this fight is finished. Louie, help me. Oh, and enter Louie, the eagle.
Oh, no! Not Louie!
Oh, what a surprise turn of events. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, she's being torn to shreds. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's wonderful. Oh, and this fight is over.
Lauer, you're the winner.
Thank you, students. It's all so good. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Lord Jesus. He's really cool. I want to thank everyone at George Jenkins High School, Mr. Lauer, especially Mr. Jansen, our TV productions teacher. He's a great teacher. He's encouraging. Everything's always on time. He has 4 words for everything. Do it now. If you've never done claymation before, any kind of stop motion, you move the clay, you shoot a frame. You move the clay, you shoot a frame. And after 4.5 weeks, you get something. So. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And thanks again to George Jenkins High School.
This whole project was totally David's creation, and
He did a great job, and I'm real proud of him. Thank you.
Just in case you're not familiar with who the two creatures in the video were, Mr. Lauer is the principal at George Jenkins, and the other lady was the volleyball coach. And of course, at the end, as males are apt to do when they're being whipped by females, he cheats and he calls in the Eagle mascot who rips the poor woman's clay body. All right, we now move on to Category 6, our announcing teams, one of the most important of all the categories. Since most of our schools do their announcements with teams, once again this year we have trophies for both the outstanding nominees and the best, and of course the school, as usual, gets a certificate. Let's first meet our elementary school nominee who's going to present this category, Haley Welch of Lime Street Elementary. This is what Mrs. Dempsey, Mrs. McGahee, and Mr. Shelnut have to say. They are her fifth grade teachers. Haley Welch is an honor roll student who excels through the Alpha program as well as in the regular classroom. She's involved in many extracurricular activities such as being a patrol, a member of the chorus, and other outside of school activities. Her community involvement includes church, theater, and nursing. Haley is a team player who is well liked and accepted by her peers for her quiet yet very enthusiastic leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of James and Jan Welch, our nominee from Lime Street, Haley Welch. And now our nominees for Best Elementary School News Team. From Bartow Elementary Academy, Allison Stenger and Adam Vickers. From Cleveland Court, Rachel Hoyt and Christina Johnson. From Lewis Elementary, Lacey Connor and Rakaria McCall. From North Lakeland Elementary, Kevin Patterson and Drew Brownlow. And from Socrum Elementary, Allison Cutter and Teresa McNamee. Okay, Haley, who's our best elementary school announcing team?
The winner is Lewis Elementary. Today is Johnny Appleseed Day. He died on this date in 1847. His real name was John Chapman. They called him Johnny Appleseed because he traveled over the West giving apple seeds to the pioneers. He planted apple trees too. There are lots of books about him in the library. Here's what one says about him. Johnny Appleseed, the gentle pioneer, lived for many years planting apple trees wherever he went. We can still see them today. They are large and old and heavy with apples. They are the gift Johnny Appleseed gave to his country and to you and to me. And now let's watch our thought for the day.
First, I'd like to thank Miss Gibson and Miss Brower for taking their time for making our scripts for us, and we really enjoy them. Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Mr. K for being such a good instructor. I'd like to thank Miss Gibson and Miss Brower for taking the time on making our scripts. I'd like to thank our teacher for letting us out. I'd like to thank our teachers for letting us out of the room to get taped, and we'd like to thank our parents for letting us be on the news.
Next, to announce our middle school nominee, we're calling back up Rachel Blackwelder of Rochelle School of the Arts. And now our nominees for Best Middle School Announcing Team. There we go. There's our first nominee. Well, that's actually our presenter, Rachel. Now they're really getting fancy with the graphics, as you can see. Lakeland Highlands Middle, Elisa Brown and Lindsay Yaros. McKeel Academy, Casey Elkins and Jennifer Goff. And Southwest Middle, Amanda Leach and Jessica Jensen. And who's our best middle school announcing team, Rachel?
Lakeland Highlands Middle.
Hey guys, what's up? Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 1999. I'm Lindsay. And I'm Alyssa. So Alyssa, what are you reading?
Oh, I'm just reading this book about NSYNC and Justin.
Oh.
Did you know that Britney Spears is on the Mickey Mouse Club with Justin and JC?
Yeah, I did. That's a cool book.
Yeah, there's lots of cool books at the book fair. The book fair runs today through March 11th, which is this Thursday. It's 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Look forward to attending with your language arts classes.
Now here's Kaylee with today's lunch.
Kaylee, to all Recycling Club members, there will be a very important meeting held in the shop room tomorrow morning during first period. Please check in with your first period teacher before coming to the meeting.
All 8th graders, just a reminder to turn in your Busch Gardens field trip forms by this Friday.
Stay tuned for this week.
We like to thank all of our friends and all of our family.
And of course, Miss Farrell for being the best teacher ever.
And Katie and Justin and everybody.
Thank you so much.
I'd just like to say it's been a true pleasure working with Lindsay and Alyssa. They are a joy to have on set. Their friendship that they have off camera really comes across well on camera, and they're just fabulous natural talent.
Okay, here to help us with the high school announcing team, Jessica Garrett of Lake Wales Senior. This is what Barbara Tysinger, Jessica's TV teacher, has to say about her. She is without question the outstanding leader in my TV production class. She takes the initiative to organize her team, assign jobs, suggest props, and make sure everyone follows through. She willingly volunteers for any task that needs to be done. She's a young lady with enthusiasm, strong character, high energy, and above all, motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of BJ and Kathy Garrett, Miss Jessica Garrett of Lake Wales High. And now our nominees for Best High School Anchor Team. From Auburndale Senior, Miranda Murphy and Jonathan Robertson. From Bartow Senior, Mike Paul Rockberry. From Lake Gibson Senior, B.J. Baranski and Jared Champion. From Lake Wales Senior, Jessica Garrett and Talia Blasio. And from McKeel Academy, Jenny Stone and Eric Gonzalez. All right, Jessica, who's our best high school news team?
And the winner is Blake Gibson Sr.
All right, seniors, listen up. You need to bring in your pictures for the senior slideshow. It's coming up real soon. You need to turn those into Mrs. Donahue, I believe. Yeah, Miss Donahue. Miss Donahue is going to be accepting those pictures. You need to bring elementary, middle school, high school, and some candid high school shots for the senior slideshow. It's going to be great fun.
Senior slideshows are always good. And seniors, PCC scholarships are now available in the College Career Resource Center. Deadline to pick those up is February 15th, so go ahead and pick those up. College Career Resource Center, 237, Ms. Burns.
Sure. Any students in drama or drama club, you can go out to the gym right over there. The next 3 Saturdays in a row, from 8 o'clock to noon, the first day they're going to be doing a prop room cleaning day. They're going to clean out the prop room, bring some old clothes. The next 2 weeks, you need to bring some old clothes, paintbrush, tools, anything you got.
First of all, we'd like to thank our moms for letting us stay out late, and BJ's mom especially for letting us thrash her kitchen on Super Bowl show. Then we'd like to thank our dads, of course. Nikki and Dusty, Matt and Jason for doing camera for a lot of these, and the lovely Miss McNabb. Thank you, Miss McNabb. Mr. Gilchrist. Yes, Mr. Gilchrist. Throughout the year, we went through a lot of trials and tribulations. We put a lot of hard work and dedication into this, so this really means a lot to us. Sometimes we laughed a little bit. Boy, did we ever laugh. You would not believe. We laughed like crazy. Sometimes we even cried a little bit.
Okay, guys. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's right, guys. That's pretty much the way most of their shows went. Yeah, very talented young people. Okay, now we move on to one of the most prestigious of our awards, because there's nothing more difficult, as those of you who've ever tried to speak in front of a group know, than being a solo anchor. And that's what this category is. Category 5, Best Solo Anchor. Our elementary school nominee for this category is from Auburndale Central Elementary. Her name is Miss Summer Hope. This is what Miss Shannon Grant, Summer's 4th grade teacher, had to say about her. Summer is an outstanding student who has shown many times her willingness and her eagerness to help others. She is considerate and helpful in all her involvement at school. She's the kind of student who is quiet and would never bring attention to herself, even if she deserved it. She can be so easily overlooked. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Auburndale Central Elementary, the daughter of Pam Hollingsworth, Summer Hope. And once again, in this category, we have certificates for the schools, we have trophies for the outstanding nominees, and of course, our best solo announcers. Now our nominees for Best Elementary School Solo Announcer. From Cleveland Court, Maggie Tyson. From Crystal Lake, Jennifer Dowdican. From East Side, Allison Cantreva. From North Lakeland, Drew Brownlow. And from Socrum Elementary, Kyle Jones. Now we will tell you first we'll tell you who our best announcer is. Summer, who is that?
Crystal Lake Middle.
Here I sit upon my nest, because this is the place I love the best. You all know me, at least you should. I'm Horton the Elephant, faithful and good. I'm here to honor Dr. Seuss, my friend. But there is something I must say before I begin. This is Friday, March 5th, 1999, and I bet each one of you know my next line. I'll say, please stand, and then you'll do it. Then sing the national anthem. That's all there is to it. Oh dear, I'm afraid I forgot. We must also say the pledge on the very same spot. Thank you for this honor. I would like to thank the whole WCLE news team for helping me win this award, and Ms. Smith and Ms. Kite for giving me this opportunity, and my mother and my grandmother for their love and support. Thank you.
We move on to Best Middle School Solo Announcer, and we've asked Jennifer King of Jenkins. Oh, excuse me, boy. Gosh, the guy will kill me for this, right? We've got to tell you who our best male elementary school announcer is. Okay, here are our nominees. Hello, we already did this, didn't we? Yes. All right. Would you come and tell them who our best elementary school male announcer is?
North Lakeland.
Trail. Hey everybody, you want to make one of these cute little Peter Cottontails too? Well, you have to hop on down to Open Media, March 9th from 3 to 7:30 p.m. And PTA will be selling pizza, soda, and popcorn from 4 to 6:30 p.m. And you can also make this little carrot for Peter Cottontail to eat. Is that good, Peter? I thought it was. Okay. You can also make this thing right here, the Luckety Irish, the pot of gold with the leprechaun on top. And the last but not least thing that you can do at the Open Media is get your picture taken with Bindi Bunny. Smile pretty.
You know, it's a great honor to win this award. I would like to thank my parents for driving me to IBN so early. I would like to thank Mr. Robertson for coaching me. And I would like to thank the IBN crew for making it happen.
And I'd like to thank Drew for such an outstanding job this year with us. He's in the 3rd grade, and we're very proud of him. And thank you for all your hard work.
And the fact that Drew is in the 3rd grade is exactly why Mr. Robertson is smiling, because he has him, he knows, for 2 more years. Okay, now we're ready to move on to the middle school, right? Okay. Our middle school presenter, once again, is Jennifer King of Jenkins Middle. And here are our best solo announcer nominees. From Jenkins Middle, Jennifer King. From Lake Alfred Middle, Jade Krushke. From Lake Gibson Middle, Brock On. From Rochelle School of the Arts, Rachel Blackwelder. And from Southwest Middle, Amanda Tetlak. Okay, Jennifer, tell them who our best female solo announcer is for the middle schools.
This is way unbelievably awkward, but Jenkins Middle School!
The new office built in 1988 is much larger and better equipped to run the school. Let's take a look inside and see what's going on today.
Hi, we're just here with Mr. Julian Shaw, and we're looking at some of the yearbooks from when he was a principal here and when this was a high school. Mr. Shaw, could you give us a little information about the history of this? Okay, well, we want to thank Mr. Shaw for all the information that he shared with us today. This is Jennifer King signing off from the JMS News.
There was a little bit more to that clip, but we just showed the beginning and the end of it. I'm very honored to have this award. I want to thank the news team for giving me unbelievable support in anything that I've ever wanted to do on the news team. I want to thank Miss Kirby for always staying on me and making sure that I do my best, and my mom for all of her support, and Dwayne and Holly and all of the news team members who were always there for me when I needed them. And I just want to thank all the people that I did interviews with. They were really cooperative, and I just want to thank everyone here, and I'm really honored to have this award. Thank you.
Like any good reporter, of course, Jennifer did not allow the man to speak. Mrs. Kirby, what would you like to add?
I just want to say you all know what it is when you can have an anchor person that you only have to give it to them one time and they do it on the first take every time. She is great.
We did ask each school in this category when they submitted their clips to interview with somebody, eliminate when the other person basically spoke. What we were looking for the judges was how poised and the eye contact and the enthusiasm of the reporter. Okay, now it's time for our best middle school male solo announcer. Jennifer?
And the winner this year is Lake Gibson Middle.
This one cost you $1. No. Well, this one, I certainly hope not. Will they get you anywhere? I don't think so. But with the new Strides for Cancer Walk tennis shoe, which only costs $1, you can make the world a better place. So please stop by the office and buy one today. Hello, I'm Litterman. Don't you just hate litter? I know I do. That's why I've decided to take part in the Great Florida Cleanup. It is a series of litter pickups that will take place throughout the state of Florida between March and April of this year. It is sponsored by the Keep Florida Beautiful as part of the Great American Cleanup Foundation. Our school has been invited to participate. If you're interested, please call this number on the screen. Goodbye.
I'd like to start out by thanking my parents for dropping me off early and picking me up late. And I'd like to thank all the parents for everybody on our crew, because that put us through a lot, but it also put them through a lot. I'd like to thank my little brother, my little 6-year-old brother, Zach, who's not here tonight, for all the joy that he brings into my life. I'd like to thank the whole crew, actually all the TV production staff, for getting me this far, because without them I couldn't be here. I'd like to thank Polk County for making this whole award ceremony possible. I'd like to thank my school for giving us the option for media. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to thank God for giving me the talent that I spent the last year exploring. Thank you.
And I have been blessed this year with a tremendous amount of talent, and Brock is just amazing. Thanks.
All right, we move on to best high school announcers now. Our presenter for this category is the nominee from Lakeland High School. His name is Mr. Kevin Goddard. Let me tell you what Lakeland High School teacher Mrs. Pam Craven has to say about Kevin. In the classroom, Kevin is an achiever. He eagerly accepts challenging assignments, giving his best effort all the time. He is a dynamic leader using well-polished team building and interpersonal skills. He constantly exhibits maturity in his decision-making. He is focused on specific educational and career goals, and he has a bright future in film or television. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Lakeland High School, the son of Robert and Linda Goddard, Mr. Kevin Goddard. And now our nominees for Best High School Announcer. From Kathleen Senior, April Giles. From Lake Gibson Senior, Cindy Badri. From Lake Region Senior, Mr. James Brown. From Lakeland Senior, Amy Brown. And from McKeel Academy, Jennifer Wold. Okay, Kevin, the moment is here. Who's our best high school female announcer?
The winner is Kathleen Senior High School.
and gentlemen, and former Kathleen alumni, we are here in the most glamorous city of Lakeland, Florida, at the 99th annual Miss Kathleen High School pageant. Well, guys, we are now to our 3 final contestants, and we are here in the lovely drama room of Kathleen Senior High School. Over the course of this evening, we will see a talent competition, an evening gown competition, and, finally, the interview competition. Tonight, we will crown Miss Kathleen High School.
I'd like to thank Jesus Christ for giving me the talent in order to do well for my TV production staff. I would like to thank my parents, Frank and Claudette Giles, for giving me the inspiration to believe I could do anything. I'd like to thank the Kathleen Senior High School TV production staff for encouraging me every day. There were times when I didn't think that I could do it, that I was too much in over my head, but they told me that I could do anything, and I eventually learned to believe it. I thank Miss Privet, who's also been an inspiration to me. She was the one that inspired me to be on the TV production staff my senior year, and without her, I wouldn't have had the honor of having this lovely experience. Thank you.
April has a rare talent. She's very special, and she's done a wonderful job. Not only is she a natural, as people would say, but she also works very hard. Anytime we said, okay, April, we need for you to interview the Commissioner of Education, okay, she never hesitated and always did a wonderful job. So we really appreciate her. Thank you.
All right, Kevin, who's our best high school male announcer?
The best high school male announcer is Lake Region Senior High School.
Every time you park and leave your car at the mall, movies, work, or even at school, you run the risk of losing your car to theft. Well, let's face it, nothing can prevent a professional thief from stealing your car. But a new theft recovery system has law enforcement excited a lot more than the traditional bells and whistles of regular car alarms.
So what's to keep a thief from stripping your car of the LoJack system, trashing it, and then stripping your car? LoJack headquarters answer, there's about 30 different places in a car to install the LoJack system, and it's only about the size of this chalkboard eraser. So chances are, by the time the thief finds the LoJack system, law enforcement will have found them. James Brown, Fox 13 Magazine.
I'd like to thank Miss Baker again, and everybody in the world I'd like to thank, because you guys make me what I am. I mean, all that stuff. And anyway, this was a good award.
I was a camera guy.
He's a cameraman. I like to thank him a lot. He's a cameraman.
And, you know, it takes about 40 to 50 days to forget that. You know, usually it's like this. Hi, hold on. I'm James Brown reporting. God. Hi, I'm James.
I don't mess up that
Whoa.
much.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Okay, we next move on to one of the most popular of the categories, especially among young people, Category 4, Music Video. Our presenter for the elementary school competition is Mr. Josh McCain of North Lakeland Elementary. This is what Mrs. Donna Ray, who is the principal at North Lakeland, had to say about Josh. Josh is extremely respectful to all of those in authority, a trait I'm afraid is no longer a given in our society. Any visits to the office at North Lakeland are of a positive nature for this young man. There has never, in his years at North Lakeland, ever been a negative report from a single teacher or staff representative on any of Josh's behavior, his work habits, or his respectful treatment to others. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from North Lakeland, the son of Mr. and Mrs. Troy McCain, Mr. Josh McCain. And now our nominees for Best Elementary School Music Video. From Crystal Lake, Dog Breath. From North Lakeland, Down by the Sea. From Paget, YMCA. And from Socrum Elementary, A Smile Like Yours. And Josh, who had our best elementary school music video this year?
North Lakeland Elementary School.
Just wiggling your toes in the warm hot sand. Down by the sea, a family and me, we love to feed the gulls. Down by the sea, we all agree, is the very best place in the world to be. Get to jump in the wake, right on the rack. Yahoo! Lay in the sun. Look at the shell. Ooh, feed the gulls. Isn't it wonderful, isn't it grand, just wiggling your toes in the warm hot sand. Down by the sea, my family and me, we love to fall into bed.
I'd like to thank Mr. Robertson for making this possible.
I would like to thank all the IBN crew. I would like to thank me and Nick's parents, every IBN people's parents for bringing us that early. I would like to thank our parents for letting us stay that late. We had a great time filming this music video, of course. It was a lot of fun. Bye-bye.
I would just like to say that was the most fun, making that video down by the lake and down by the sea. They did a wonderful job. I'm very proud of them. I'd like to thank Mrs. Vandersteen for all of her hard work, and along with the parents that helped us patrolling the children and making sure everybody was safe. We had a real good time. Thank you.
Next, we move on to middle school music video. Our presenter, once again, from Lake Alfred Middle, is Darren Goodrich. And here are our nominees for Best Middle School Music Video. Lake Gibson Middle, Cats in the Cradle. Union Academy, School Days. And Westwood Middle, WNN remembers Mr. Connors. Darren, who's our best middle school music video?
And the winner is Lake Gibson Middle.
Came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away. He was talking for a living, and as he grew, he said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little ball blue and the man on the moon. When you come in home, son, I don't know when we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. Well, my son turned 10 just the other day. Said thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Did you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, yeah. He walked away and he smiled and he said, you know, I'm gonna be like him, yeah. You know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little ball recall this just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, I'm proud of you, could you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'm feeling like that is to bother car keys. See you later, can I have them please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you tell me
First of all, I would like to thank Miss Zetterberg, who didn't give up, because sometimes she felt like she was. Brock, Nick, and David Shattuck, who were the little boy throughout the piece, and my mom for bringing me in every Saturday. Thanks.
This video was truly a labor of love. I think we had a really great time putting it together, and just to put it on in class and put the music video on and see all these kids singing the song, it was just truly inspirational. And I also want to thank Jeff Ludy, my brother, for helping us out. Thank you.
I mentioned to you before how tough the competition was at the high school level in computer graphics, and this is another category. I ended up showing the high school music videos to 4 different sets of judges. There were several that were absolutely superb. Now let's bring up our nominee who's going to help us with the high school music video. Her name is Jennifer Wold, and she's from McKeel Academy. Let me read to you what Nancy Reagan, an interesting person to write a letter for Jennifer. Nancy Reagan is a counselor at McKeel. She says, Jennifer's personality is her greatest asset. She has the ability to make everyone feel comfortable and completely at ease, adult or peer. She serves as an ambassador for McKeel. In that capacity, she's hosted receptions for many important visitors to our school. In every case, Jennifer goes out of her way to represent herself and McKeel with enthusiasm and sincerity. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Wold, Jennifer Wold of McKeel Academy. And now our nominees for Best High School Music Video. From Bartow Sr., Pretty Fly for a White Boy. From Kathleen Sr., Death After Life. From Lake Gibson Sr., Adia. From Lake Region Sr., Donate a Dollar. And from Lakeland Sr., One Sweet Day. Jennifer, who had our best high school music video?
The winner is Lake Region Senior.
Go to the dollar, or the field of thunder. It will be for a stadium. So just donate $1 for a new stadium, and we won't have to play at the sun.
LRHS, yo, home of the thunder. Where is our stadium? Yo, I wonder. We need a place to sit and chill, so just donate $1 bill. We need a place to play our sports, just like the gym is for the basketball courts. The money goes for all the seats. If you donate, it will be neat. So just donate $1. So just donate $1. So just donate $1.
Football stadium, if you said yes, the world become our TV displays that they call home, so they won't have to play in Rome.
Man, I just do not know what to say. I'd like to thank like all the people that I forgot, like the people in my class, Chelsea, Greg, Turtle, Brandon, Dana. Anyway, I love making music videos. I love making videos, and this video award ceremony has like inspired me all year to do all this stuff. So I thank everybody who's associated with it. Thanks.
We're, of course, looking at a whole nother generation, so occasionally when you see a video jump, be assured that when the judges saw it, it didn't do that, or else it would never have made this level of the competition. Okay, we now move on to Category 3, another interesting one because we're talking about commercials. Those things that everybody loves to complain about, but which every year generate some of the most interesting and creative work on all of television. Our nominee for elementary school for Category 3 is Megan Page of R.W. Blake Elementary. Let me tell you what the PE teacher, Coach Charles Hall, had to say about Megan. I think Megan should be considered for this award because on the PE field, even though she is not an exceptional athlete, she is a team leader. I think you need to have a talk with this guy when you get back. And this is your letter of recommendation. She is a team leader. Her peers look up to her. Her ability is certainly adequate, and her sportsmanship is what teachers hope for in every student. Megan most always has a smile on her face, and she spreads cheer to everyone at Blake Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, the daughter of Kelly Douglas, Laura and Stephen Page, Miss Megan Page of Blake Elementary School. And now our nominees for Best Elementary School Commercial. Cumbie Elementary with Family Fun Night. Crystal Lake Elementary, Pennies for People. East Side, Fashion Rejection. Lewis, Come to the Book Fair. Lime Street, The Can. North Lakeland, Valentine's Sale. And Socrum Elementary, The Godfather. Okay, Megan, who had our best elementary school commercial?
And the winner is North Lakeland Elementary.
Here we are, just walking down the street, telling sticks and puzzles, necklaces and more, popping our fingers, selling our shoes, some flowers, bracelets, making us galore. They look good.
They look good.
They look fine.
They look fun.
They look good. They look fine. And they're all for Valentine's. You can be right here with me, buying friends with strangers, and races you won't fail. Come along and follow me. Buy them all outside, walk there. They look good.
They look good.
They look fine.
They look fun.
They look good. They look fine. And they're all for Valentine's. You are diddy diddy down diddy do. You are diddy diddy down.
Brandy and I have just had a great time filming this. It took a lot of time, and we just worked together and did it, but at the end, time paid off.
Okay, first of all, we'd like to thank our parents for letting us stay so late and bring us so early in the morning. And we'd like to thank Mr. Robertson and their crew, and that's all.
I'd like to say thank you to all the second grade teachers. These were second grade boys and girls, and they wanted IBN to make a commercial for them to help them sell their wares, and we were just very honored they asked us. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Vanderstein again for directing the choreography for that, and we're just very happy. Thank you.
Okay, next we have our middle school best commercial, and we'll bring back up to the stage Mr. Brock On of Lake Gibson Middle School. And here are our middle school nominees. From Kathleen Middle, Buy Some Sugar. From Lake Gibson Middle, Picture Retakes. And from Union Academy, Got Book. Okay, Brock, who had our best middle school commercial?
Drum roll, please. No? Okay. Kathleen Middle.
Honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey, oh, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true.
Okay. We'll move on to high school TV commercial. Our presenter is from Mulberry Senior High School. His name is Michael Gerbetti. Here is what the principal, Mr. George Hatz, has to say about Michael. This young man is a jewel. More than once this year, I have asked him to provide the school with a video presentation of a certain topic, and he's come through with marvelous production skills. He always does everything with a smile on his face, and he's always trying to do better. He is always asking to attend all the school functions so that he can cover our events for the school news show. He is also that kind of young man that, as a principal, I do not mind leaving alone with the responsibility of many dollars worth of equipment. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Mulberry High School, the son of Jan and Will Gerbetti, Michael Gerbetti. And now our nominees for Best High School TV Commercial. From Bartow Senior, The Batgirl. From Lake Gibson Senior, Reading. From Lake Region, Our Drug Problem. From Lakeland Senior, a commercial called The Bagpipe. And from Mulberry Senior, Wrestling. We had 2 winners in this category. Michael, who was our first high school commercial winner?
Bartow Senior High.
Coach Coombs, I'm here to apply for Cat Girl.
Cat? Wait a minute. I think you have it all wrong. I'm not looking for...
No, stop. Watch how agile I am.
No. Bat Girl, not Cat Girl.
This will impress you.
Get down! Somebody's gonna get killed! Get down from there! You need to go out for track. Look, we are looking for Bat Girls. Bat Girls. If there's anyone out there that would like to be a Bat Girl that's sane, please come see me this week. We'd appreciate it.
when I dragged this little outfit for April to wear out of the closet. Not me? I said, oh, yes. And, of course, Coach Coombs, our baseball coach, will do just about anything. So he was very supportive, but she was very doubtful. But she's always a good sport. Thank you.
Okay, Michael, tell them who our next commercial winner is at the high school level, and see if you catch the pattern of the national commercial after which this is follows.
Lake Gibson Sr.
A hardback copy of The Scarlet Letter at Barnes & Noble, $20. Clip notes to understand the philosophy behind The Scarlet Letter, $4. A hot cup of cappuccino, $2. A quiet moment with yourself and a good book, priceless. There are some things money just can't buy, like the ability to and the enjoyment of reading.
I would like to thank Dusty for coming up with this idea, Nikki and Cindy, and also Miss McNabb, and Miss Day, who taught us that you can always make a mark just by reading.
I would just like to say thanks. Pretty much summed it up. Thank you.
Next, we move to the big two categories, weekly and daily news shows. Those are, of course, what we do every week or every day in our schools, and that's why they're so important. We're going to bring up Andy Vinzant of Southwest Elementary School as our guest presenter for this category. Let me tell you what Jill Barr, the media specialist at Southwest Elementary, says about Andy. He is an extremely hard worker and demonstrates the genuine quality of accepting true responsibility for getting the job done within time constraints. He is willing to do whatever is necessary while demonstrating the flexibility to get the job done. His perseverance often amazes his teachers as well as his peers. Our nominee is a joy to teach, a joy to work with, and a joy to learn from. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominee from Southwest Elementary, the son of William and Lee Vinzant, Mr. Andy Vinzant. And now our nominees for Best Weekly School News Show at the elementary school level. Blake Elementary, Brigham Academy, Cumbie Elementary, Crystal Lake Elementary, and Polk City Elementary. Andy, who had our best elementary school weekly news show this year?
Crystal Lake Elementary. Weather or not. Good morning, Crystal Lake. Today is Friday, February 5th, 1999.
I'm Reagan Smith. And I'm Jessica Lewis, your host for today's show. And it's Weatherman's Day, so we're going to take a look at various kinds of weather and those brave souls who attempt to keep us well informed. But the business of the moment is our opening exercises. So please stand as we sing the national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Today's lunch. Brr, when the snow falls and the icicles form, that means you need food that will warm you. So they tell me, well, you're going to be warmed and nourished by pizza, corn, orange juice, cookie, cake, and milk. Now this is more to my liking. Florida kids know what to do when the sun shines. Come along with us, and we'll show you how to have fun in the sun. The WCLE News team would like to thank Dr. Satchel, our principal, and Mr. Basil, our assistant principal, for the help and support. We would also like to thank Miss Brooks, our media para, Miss Garber, our retired media para, and Miss Pugh, our alpha teacher, for the help with scripts, props, and costumes. We would also like to thank many local businesses for allowing us to film special segments for our show, such as the SPCA, Party City, Crisper's Restaurant, Sam's Sports Shop, Spoto's Florist, the Lakeland Mall, the Salvation Army, and the Kiwanis Club. Most of all, we would like to thank Mr. David Yates and his many helpers for taking care of all our technical problems. Thank you for this honor.
At the middle school level, we had only one entry for weekly news show. We asked the judges to look at the set of shows that school submitted and judge whether or not they would meet the criteria of being an outstanding show. And the judges did that, and that honor does go to Jewett Middle Academy for an outstanding weekly news show. Now we move on to what we call the Big Daddy. That's the pressure that goes with producing a show every single day of the school year, a challenge to everyone who's in this room. We're going to bring up our nominee, or our presenter, excuse me, for the elementary school. Is Valley View up here? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Rick Rinshed is of Valley View Elementary School. His TV teacher, Miss Georgianne Dodge, has this to say about Rick. It was a pleasure to work with such a young man who was able to grasp ideas so quickly and who could be counted on to be there daily and who was able to teach other crew members what he had learned. What was truly amazing was how he helped others. Never did I see him putting himself in a superior position, and never did he just do it. Instead, he demonstrated patience and taught so that others could be successful. This showed a maturity level never found in 10 or 11-year-old young people. Ladies and gentlemen, the son of Richard and Cindy Rinshed, Mr. Rick Rinshed of Valley View Elementary School. And Rick, we owe you a very big apology. We try very hard not to have any problems or errors with our trophies, our medallions, everything. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the TV production students of the year in the middle of your program, you won't find Rick there. And please accept the apologies of our whole staff. Congratulations on representing Valley View, Rick. Okay, at this time, we're going to present our nominees for Best Daily Elementary School News Show. Bartow Elementary Academy. Cleveland Court Elementary. Kathleen Elementary. Lewis Elementary. Lime Street Elementary. North Lakeland Elementary. and Southwest Elementary. Because of time, we'll not be able to show you as long a clip as we had saved for these new shows. But Rick, tell the folks who our best elementary school news show was, and we have 2 this year.
And the winner is Lewis Elementary.
Coming to you live from Lewis Elementary School in Fort Meade, Florida. Good morning, Lewis Lions. Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I'd like to thank my mom, Mr. Cade, Mrs. Brower, Mrs. Gibson, and the whole gang. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who had a part in working with the news team this year. I'd like to thank Mrs. Brower, who writes such neat scripts for our kids to learn, and for Mrs. Gibson for doing a lot of the videotaping. And of all of our, I mean, just our kids are really, really talented, and they only go to 3rd grade. So I think that's, we have a lot of 2nd graders and 3rd graders on the stage here. And I really appreciate all the hard work I was really happy to get this award this year. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Rick, who was our other best daily news show for elementary school?
Our other best winner was North Lakeland Elementary.
First, I'd like to thank the entire crew for making this possible, and then, of course, the anchors for doing such a great job, and then a couple of the teachers who made the scenery and some of the cute little props we wore, and then, of course, Mr. Robertson for directing us.
I'd like to say thank you to Mrs. Ray, our principal, and our assistant principal, Mrs. Joe, for all of their support and willingness to help whenever we need any help, and giving us money when we need money. And I'd like to thank all of the boys and girls here and their parents for all of the hard work and for all the hours that we ask of them. And I'd like to thank Mrs. Arnold. She wasn't with us as much this year, but she gave us a lot of good ideas over the phone, and we really appreciate her very much and missed her very much this year. And Mrs. Vandersteen for stepping in and helping me direct. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Booth for all of their hard work this year on a lot of our new sets. And all the teachers, thanks.
Next, we move to the middle school Best Daily News Show. Chris Nakla of Lakeland Middle Academy will come back up now and help present this category. And here are our middle school nominees. Jenkins Middle. Lake Gibson Middle. Lakeland Highlands Middle. McKeel Academy. And Southwest Middle. And Glenn, if you'll do the honors for us, would you kindly tell these fine folks who had our best middle school news show, and like elementary, we had two.
And the winner is Lake Gibson Middle School.
What's up? I'm Brock.
And I'm Natalie, and we're here at Belfry, a recreation area for teens on Lake Morton at Thirst United Methodist Church.
Just you wait, Natalie. Tonight, I'm going to be one fly guy. The girls are going to be all over me.
Yeah, well, at least we know you have high self-esteem.
No, you just wait and see, Natalie. You just wait and see.
I have a feeling all I'll be doing is waiting. Well, stay tuned for today's edition of What's Up. Belfry is held at the First United Methodist Church on Lake Morton from 7 to 10. It's a great place to play air hockey, pool, dance, and eat food in the food court. Here's some more information.
First of all, I'd like to thank God, my Lord and Savior, for giving us the talent for video production and for being there when the times were tough. I'd also like to thank my parents, and for that matter, all the parents who gave up their time to provide my classmates with a ride to school early and late in the afternoon. I'd also like to thank my classmates for their hard work and dedication, because without them, we couldn't have done it. I'd like to thank my advisor, Miss Setterberg, and if I missed anyone, I'm sorry. Thanks a lot.
We also need to thank Dr. Gwen Kessel, our principal at Gibson Middle, for being very supportive of us whenever we need anything. The parents have just been incredible this year, and I thank you guys so very much. I have the easiest and the best crew to work with. We have wonderful anchors, wonderful tech people, and I love them all. Thanks.
Okay, Superintendent Reynolds, please tell these fine folks who our other middle school Best News Show winner was.
And the winner is Lakeland Highlands Middle School.
I was born, the nurses all gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone.
And what up? Not much, man. What's going on?
I don't know.
I'd like to accept this award on behalf of our school, and I'd like to take this time to thank especially Ms. Karen Bowen and Ms. Janice Snell, who are incredible talents. They can always do something on one take, and they totally winged that whole thing. And I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to thank Kaylee. Kaylee's going to thank some more people.
We'd like to thank the ITV crew for all their help and the award, and the local businesses for their support, and all our friends and family, and especially Miss Farrell. Thank you.
Just like in music video and computer graphics, the competition at the high school level for Best News Show was fierce indeed. I believe we have, yes, Allison Cantreva. Would you join us, please? Allison is going to help us present the award for Best High School News Show. Unfortunately for Allison, when it came time for schools to nominate their Students of the Year, her TV production teacher was out having a baby. And they missed the deadline, but we want to honor her anyway. Thank you very much for joining us here on the stage, and you'll get the honor of telling these folks who the best high school news show has. Here are our nominees. Auburndale Senior. Bartow Senior. George Jenkins. Kathleen Senior. Lake Gibson Senior. Lake Region Senior. Lake Wales Senior. and Lakeland Senior. Allison from lovely Eastside Elementary, tell these folks who are one of two high school best daily news shows was.
Bartow Senior.
Good morning, students and staff. You're once again tuned in to YJP News for the latest update on the BHS campus.
We have several features today, including the latest on the trials and tribulations of radio promoting.
So stay tuned as YJP News starts now.
Hey, Jack, this is Monday morning, and I'm April.
And I'm Carlos with the news for January 11th.
So, Carlos, did you make it to the big citywide dance on Saturday?
No, I sure didn't, but I hear students had a great time. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more from the Bartow Teen Council.
Me too. Hey, Carlos, are you looking for an opportunity to receive those volunteer hours IB students must require for graduation?
I sure am.
Well, this may be of interest to you. Let's take a look at one opportunity to lend a hand in our community.
Well, I wasn't expecting to be asked to speak, but there are a lot of people I'd like to thank. Ms. Whitson, most of all. She's an inspiration to all of us, and Ryan Brown, who's our executive producer. Without him, nothing would be possible. And all the crew members and all the periods. Thank you very much.
Okay, Allison, who was our other best high school daily news show?
The winner is Lake Region Senior.
Good afternoon, Lake Region. I'm Chelsea Croft.
And I'm Greg Barris, TV News for Friday the 19th.
You know, today we're hanging out here at James Lakeside Marine enjoying this beautiful winter weather.
Great. You know, Chelsea, tomorrow will be an excellent day for you and I to spend a little bit of time on the boat.
I don't think so, Greg. TV's Jillian Volpe tells us about one Lake Region club that's focused on keeping Polk County's lakes clean and healthy for everyone to enjoy. Let's check that out.
Lake Guard. Thanks, Jillian. Community Problem Solver Group takes their Lake Guard project on state competition in April.
As a matter of fact, she's gonna cry.
We'd like to thank Jillian, the editor, everyone on the crew.
Phenomenal James Brown.
Phenomenal James Brown. Greg Barris for being a great anchor buddy. Dana Stewart, Terry Tullis, everyone.
Miss
Baker, thank
for
you.
pushing us every day to write the script, even though sometimes we didn't
don't
want
feel like
to.
it. But this is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we will tell you which school has the honor of having the highest rated video of the 400 some odd videos that were submitted in this year's competition. Let's review our nominees for Best in Show. Cumbie Elementary School. The video was called Help, the Adventures of Scan Card Sam. Crystal Lake Elementary. The video was called Pennies for People, a documentary about the homeless. George Jenkins Sr. The X-Files. Lake Gibson Sr. Captain Video. Lake Region Senior, Trapped. Also Lake Region Senior, Lake Guards. And North Lakeland Elementary, Where is My Hairbrush? Superintendent Reynolds, would you do us the honor again, please? Why don't we do that? Miss Mary Polk, one of our judges from Titusville, will let her do the honors of telling you who our Best in Show winner is.
And the winner is North Lakeland Elementary.
Because we saw their fabulous Where is My Hairbrush video before, we will not show you a clip now. I think everyone's here could see how that could not only be a candidate but also a winner. The entries this year for Best in Show, they were all remarkable, but the judges particularly liked the acting and the creativity that was involved in turning one of the very famous VeggieTales into an award-winning video here. In the sake of time, we will congratulate you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Again, let me congratulate Cumbie for their wonderful Scan Card Sam video. Crystal Lake, a terrific documentary about the homeless. George Jenkins, a very creative work on the X-Files. 2 different entries from Lake Region, which is unusual. Trapped and Lake Guards. The Captain Video, hilarious spoof of Lake Gibson High School. And then, of course, the winner, Where is My Hairbrush? At this time, before we name our Students of the Year, because we have no more video clips to show, we'll go ahead and bring up the house lights, and I have 6 very special teachers to honor, and then we'll tell you who our best students are. These teachers were all nominated by their schools for Teacher of the Year. And I'm asking the young folks from Jenkins Middle School in Haines City, Florida, to assist me by distributing roses to the 6 wonderful educators who give so much of themselves. They are, and we'll ask them to stand now, please, so that these young folks can find them in the crowd. Miss Beverly Fields of Bartow Elementary Academy. Mrs. Melissa Whitson of Bartow High School. Miss Sadie Darby of Crystal Lake Middle School. Mr. Patrick Hartman of Lake Ship Elementary School. Miss Virginia Brower of Lewis Elementary. Over here. And Miss Jan Shields of Lime Street Elementary. Thank you once again, teachers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will move on to our most prestigious individual award. That's the School Student of the Year at the elementary, middle, and high school levels. I will ask one of the judges in this category, Mrs. Leonora Ivankovich, if she'll kindly join us on the platform now. And when we tell you who the best winners are, we would like to have not only, of course, that student, but any members of the TV production crew, the TV teacher, the parents, and we have a rose for the mom, also the principal and the area superintendent if they're here tonight. I read the accolades about these young folks before, so at this point we'll tell you who the winners are. Mrs. Ivankovich, would you kindly tell them who the elementary school TV Student of the Year is?
Josh McCain, North.
While Josh is coming up, I'll remind you that he is a fifth grader at North Lakeland Elementary School, which I think is going to have to buy hearing aids for the folks here from Jenkins Middle, right? Josh is the son of Amy and Troy McCain. His teacher is Mr. Michael Robertson, and Mrs. Tom Ray is his principal. Congratulations, Josh. Thank you. Josh?
I just want to thank everyone that helped me with everything in the studio, that if I needed someone, they were just there for me, and just want to thank everyone.
For the parents or visitors tonight who are not familiar with the rules of this category, the TV Student of the Year nomination goes to a student who, more than anything else, is a role model in their school and community. That's the most important thing that all the judges were looking for. All right, Mrs. Ivankovich, who is our middle school Student of the Year?
Darren Goodrich, Lake Alfred.
Darren Goodrich is an 8th grader at Lake Alfred Middle School. He is the son of Darlene and Chuck Goodrich. His teacher is Miss Amy Black. Darren?
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Second of all, Miss Black. Third, the crew. And last but not least, Jordan.
It's been a pleasure to have Darren on our news crew, and we'll really miss him when he goes up to high school this year. It's been a great year for the crew, and I want to thank our principal and also the other teacher that helped me this year, Miss Tina Steele. Thank you very much.
By the time they get to be seniors in high school, as you would imagine, some of our very best students can assemble marvelous portfolios of community and school service. So as is our tradition, we will identify a top female and a top male high school student of the year. We'll begin with our female, and Mrs. Ivankovich, if you'll kindly tell them who our top high school female student of the year is.
April Hutchinson, Bartow Senior.
April Hutchison is a 12th grader at Bartow High School. She is the daughter of Jody Rogers. Her TV production teacher is Mrs. Melissa Whitson.
I just want to say thank you to everyone, especially Miss Whitson and the news team. Couldn't do it without her. My mom and the Lord. Thank you.
And now our top dude. All right, Mrs. Ivankovich, who is our male high school student of the year?
Kevin Goddard, Lakeland.
Kevin Goddard is a dreadnought to the core. He's a 12th grader, of course, at Lakeland High School. He is the son of Robert and Linda Goddard, and his TV teacher is Bobby Barnes.
I think for the first time in my life, I'm at a loss for words. It's quite an honor to get this award. There's a few people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for all the support they've given me and all the crazy hours they've allowed me to put in down at the TV studio. I'd like to thank the staff that's worked with me for the past 4 years, and especially this year. I've enjoyed working with them. They mean a lot to me. They may not believe it right now because I tend to get a little upset when I'm doing the show, but I really do enjoy working with them, and y'all really do mean a lot to me. I want to thank everybody else who helped me win this award along the way, the people who wrote the letters, and anybody else. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting you. And last but not least, there's someone special I'd like to thank, and that's Bubba Barnes. For the past 4 years, he's been more than just a teacher to me. He's been a friend, and he's taught me more, and I just got to thank him right now.
I'd just like to say one thing about Kevin. If Kevin were as big as his dreams and his aspirations, he'd be 9 feet tall. Kevin, congratulations, big guy.
We want to congratulate all of the nominees. They were all outstanding, and especially, of course, our TV Students of the Year at the elementary, the middle, and the high school level. At this point, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you would kindly not come up onto the stage but send one person from your school down to the front of the stage, that will be the easiest way for us to distribute to all of you who won an outstanding nomination in any category your certificate, or if that nomination came in solo anchor or dual anchor or, of course, news show, we have not only the certificate but a trophy as well. Congratulations, and again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to the 7th Video Awards.